day late and $1 short.
Yeah. Sorry, it's late.
Yeah.
Trick or
Yesterday
treat.
was Halloween.
Trick or treat. Fuck this.
Yeah, it was trick or treat more than anything. I didn't go trick or treating.
I would hope not. You're a little old.
No, I'm saying I didn't even take the kids.
Oh,
Madison drove the boys over to my mom's and they went from there.
no.
But I think Jackson's the only one who trick or treated. Fuck
Yeah.
that. I was like, it is cold out there. I don't want to go out there.
It fucking snowed.
I
Like
handed
it's
out-
Snowed, yeah,
like
snowed.
almost blizzard looking snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I handed
What
out
is
For like
candy
a
in April.
20,
to the
30
kids.
minutes.
Lucky you.
It was cold.
It
I
was
I was
cold.
down off the porch steps because I didn't want the kids like.
So you
coming up
made
on the
April
porch.
walk in the cold.
Somebody had to hand out candy.
I'm with you there,
I was
Karen.
in the cold too.
You get
I
some
was
of-
worse though because I couldn't move. I had to
Get
stand in the cold or sit in the cold while.
Or you could just go back in your house.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
stand
I
in
didn't want the
the
kids up
doorway.
on that porch. It's too slick.
Fuck
Get a
it.
patio.
Get candy at your own risk.
Yeah. Oh,
Should have set a bowl out there and
Concussions
then just,
might
like,
occur.
ran out of the garage or like out of the doorway whenever someone tried to take more than one.
like
You
scare
would've
the shit
saved
out.
more.
What
Yeah.
are you doing?
I said one.
I literally put a big old bucket out and like
And fill it full of candy corn.
no,
Because nobody likes candy
I
corn.
like
Has
candy
that been
corn.
there?
we still got a bunch left over.
No.
Yeah.
Twixes, Snickers, and all
No.
kinds
No.
of shit.
Okay, good. I thought I was tripping.
All right. Welcome back. We are the Bonsai Movie Crew.
We are.
We are the Bonsai Movie Crew. Like, we have to be. Somebody's got to be.
Might as well be us.
So we are.
We gotta
If
be.
not us, then who else?
Exactly. If not us, then who else?
Somebody else will
Don't
be.
forget about all the socials and all the cool stuff down there. All that silly jazz.
It's above the
Silly
star.
jazz fingers.
It's above the Star Destroyer right there.
Yeah, above the stars. Well,
Well,
on the Star
on the
Destroyer.
Star Destroyer. It's usually
Yeah.
it usually hits like right on the floor.
What do you mean usually?
Right.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's there.
It is.
Sorry.
It is right there. Anyway,
It's-
oh
I'm
man.
not good at working with these green screens. I got
Nothing around you that you see is real. This is all digitally. I do all this. That's how good I am at all this stuff.
If I
Editing.
wanted
All this
to,
is real. This is actually a green screen right here.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
could,
touching.
Like hit it and
Yeah.
then it would fall.
Yeah, it's just a fall. It's a
Because it's a
wall.
cloth.
Yeah.
And the only
Yeah,
real
but
person
none of
is
this is
Joseph.
real.
The rest of us are robots.
See, I'm touching this right now. It's not real.
He could even pick it up and move it around on the green screen.
Uh huh. I'm not gonna do that though. I don't want to mess it up. You know what I mean?
Oh wow, it's so cool. Like
Look,
she's
you can
touching.
even see my shadow.
But she's touching the poster and it's even billowing. Like that's how good it
Yeah.
is.
How do you know that you can't even see a fucking poster yet? It's in post production. You got to do that. That's just
Because
you guys are
we're
ruining.
telling- we're
You ruined
You're
it.
telling me I
No,
should
we're
see it.
no, we're challenging your editing skills, Dad. Come on, you got this.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on.
You'll never know.
Yeah, just do all the stuff. Anyway, all the stuff. Anyway, let's get into our creator profile for the week.
Oh shit!
Woo.
Anybody want to guess who it is?
This week,
Yeah.
Arnold.
No, I thought about it though.
Danny.
Danny.
Danny
Yeah.
DeVito.
All
I
right.
thought we could do Arnold, but everybody knows what he's done.
Danny's way better.
Not me.
Danny DeVito, you don't know much about him, so let's talk about
Besides
him
Batman?
instead. Other than
It's Always
Batman.
Sunny.
Who wants to read it?
I volunteer myself again.
Okay.
I like this part.
Hmm,
I like reading, you guys. It's my favorite thing.
It's
You can't eat your bread while you read.
I'm not.
swallow that shit.
I will. It's not soggy.
Here. Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Come on, hurry up.
I'm about chewing fast.
I don't know why the fuck you even brought food down here.
Because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything.
You ain't got time for that shit.
You ate, didn't you?
Yep.
Man, I had to swing by and pick me something up to eat.
My heart.
I made
Anyways.
biscuits and gravy.
That sounds awesome.
Put little hot dogs in
That's
there.
quick.
Lasagna sounds good too.
Be like grandma and
Still
put some
haven't
hot
eaten
dogs
it,
in
though.
there.
Okay. Danny DeVito. Who is Danny DeVito? Actor Danny DeVito had his big break when he starred in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Is that how you say that? Cuckoo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1975. He rose to fame on the sitcom Taxi 1978-1983, for which he won a Golden Globe Award and an Emmy. He later produced and directed many films, including Matilda 1996. Oh, I do know him from that. It's a really good movie. I love that movie when I was a kid.
Did you know that Matilda's mom like the girl,
Mhm.
she like had cancer or something, and she died like while that was going on, and he brought the movie to her mom so she could see it before she died, before
Aw.
it was in theaters. And
I don't think that
everything.
girl's acted since Matilda.
And
Yeah, Danny.
they took care of her. They
Yeah.
baby adopted her for a time.
Yeah, I don't think that
Really?
girl's even acted since Matilda. She went
Him
on to
and-
be
him
like,
and his
I think
wife.
she took.
she went on to write books and stuff. She
Yeah.
became a writer.
I
Yeah.
know.
They're very good people. him
Yeah,
and his
Danny
wife.
and his wife.
You
yeah.
know the old lady in Barbie that like Barbie was talking to, and she was like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, that's his
Danny DeVito's
wife.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was the
That's
girl
in there.
from Matilda too.
Yeah, it's Rhea
Yeah.
Perlman.
Yeah, that's his wife.
Yeah,
in
him
real
and-
life, Rhea
him and-
Perlman.
Yeah.
His wife played husband and wife in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're giving things away. Keep reading.
We know things.
Along with his wife of more than 30 years, actress Rhea Perlman. Whoops. DeVito has also enjoyed a starring role on the TV series It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia since 2006, which, thank God they made that show.
I'm telling you.
Wild card, bitches.
Early life. DeVito was born Daniel Michael DeVito Jr. on November 17th, 1944. Oh my God, he is old. He's coming up on 80.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time.
Mm.
He did Taxi back in the 70s,
hmm
and so yeah, that's a long time.
Whoa. I didn't think he was that old.
He's pretty old.
Dang.
He's still pretty active, though, for as old
and
as he
looks
is.
pretty good for his age.
Yeah,
actually.
he really does.
I didn't think
I bet he was
was
at least in his 50s, 40s or 50s, whenever he did Twins.
Yeah, probably. Well,
He's-
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Maybe his 40s. I don't know about
his
50s.
40s. Yeah, probably. Well, yeah,
Him and Arnold played in another movie where they had.
Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In Neptune, New Jersey, DeVito was raised by his mother, Julia, and his father, Danny Sr. Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. A small business owner whose various ventures included a dry cleaner, luncheonette.
Dude, I imagine Danny DeVito's dad as like
A mafia
Vincent.
person.
Like no, as Vincent, like in this movie, like that's who his dad was, like in real life, like some swindling
yeah,
like,
guy with a
you know what I
ponytail,
mean? Yeah,
but still balding.
she's talking about like he had many business ventures. That's who I imagine he was like in real life. Like anyway, sorry.
DeVito included, or where was I? Dairy Outlet and Pool Hall. DeVito attended Our
See, pool
Lady
hall.
of
What kind of guy runs a pool hall?
DeVito attended Our Lady of Mount Carmel Grammar School and Oratory Prep High School in Summit, New Jersey, where he first tried his hand at acting, starring in school productions of St. Francis of Assisi. I don't know. And the $1 Billion
His dad
Saint.
was able to afford him to go to
Oh my God.
private school. He was
He ran a pool hall.
Danny DeVito was
He's
born
mafia.
during the Great Depression.
yeah.
He's old. I studied the Great Depression in history class.
Every time I hear about Grandma's Boy has forever changed the Great Depression for me. Yo, let me tell you about this chick. Her pussy smelled like the Great Depression.
Yep. I knew exactly where you were going with that.
Do you think she invented the hand job? Or do you think she invented the blowjob? No. But I think she did invent the hand job or some shit like
hand
that.
job with a finger in the butt.
Oh yeah, hand job with a finger in the butt.
A diminutive 4 feet. I said that really weird, but I did say it correctly. 4 feet, 10 inches tall. DeVito says he longed to be taller as a youth. He recalls, I was plagued. I couldn't slow dance with the girls I wanted to because my face would be in a spot where I might be thought of as moving too fast.
I wonder what he looked like as a child. I've never seen him any younger than Taxi. So it makes me wonder, like,
I'm sure there. Well,
Well,
yeah,
do you
I'm
think
sure
he's
there's
like
pictures
short and
out- I'm
stubby?
sure there's pictures out there.
Ryan,
Yeah.
Ryan's wife, Mandy, she's 4'10".
Mhm.
what?
But for a girl, that's a
I'm just
little
saying,
more
if you, like, if you-
acceptable, I
if you
guess,
look-
in
you could
society. Like, I'm not saying
Look
it's
at
bad,
her height
but
and just imagine Danny DeVito standing there.
Who is
oh
it?
yeah,
Stand beside her.
our cousin's wife.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
were
She's,
talking about an
yeah,
actress.
she's 4'10".
His height also made him a target for neighborhood bullies. I took a lot of lumps, DeVito remembers, but I had a lot of friends who helped me and looked out for me. Although he acted in high school, when DeVito graduated in 1962, he did not consider acting a viable career path. DeVito recalls, I was sure what I wanted to do when I got out of high school. College didn't seem a likely or desirable option, and I didn't want to go too far away. DeVito was lounging around the house one day when his older sister suggested he work as a hairdresser at the salon she owned. He remembered thinking...
He's not even tall enough to reach them. He'd be like...
Quit.
He doesn't need to raise the chairs, okay?
He has to lower them all. Like, I don't even think the chairs can go that low, can they?
What chairs?
He'd be like...
He worked as a
I think the only
hairdresser.
ones he could actually hairstyle are like the kids.
Maybe that's what he did. You
You have
don't
to
know.
sit on the floor.
He remembers thinking, well, I'm not doing anything else, and I could meet a lot of girls there.
I just imagine Danny DeVito hitting on girls, like...
Breaking into acting. After 18 months and no romances, at his sister's salon,
Ah, damn it, stop it.
Oh, I know where the button is now.
Also, keep your hands off the wire.
What wire?
Don't touch
This
the
one?
wire.
That wire, yeah, whenever you touch it, you can hear it
Oh, yeah, it makes that buzzing
Do
noise.
I touch it a lot?
sometimes.
Oh, sorry. DeVito decided to switch to the more lucrative cosmetics profession. He applied to take makeup classes at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York. Applicants must perform a monologue to get into any of the school's programs. And after his monologue received positive feedback, DeVito decided to take acting classes as well. He quickly realized that acting was his true calling. DeVito graduated from the American Academy in 1966 and worked briefly at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center in Waterford, Connecticut.
Good lord.
Talking about a history class.
Didn't we
here.
already go over this whole Connecticut thing with you?
It's Connecticut.
Connecticut?
Hip hop and autos.
Hip hop and notice? Damn you, you always give him the easy ones.
I'm sorry.
Why are you making me laugh that hard? Hip hop?
Hip hop.
DeVito graduated from the American Academy in 1966 and worked briefly at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center in Waterford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Connecticut, where he met and befriended fellow actor Michael Douglas. While in Connecticut, DeVito read Truman Capote's in Cold Blood. Thank you.
What?
After seeing an advertisement for Hollywood auditions for a movie version of the book, DeVito moved to Los Angeles. DeVito did not land a part in the film In Cold Blood or in anything else at the start of his career. Instead, he recalls, I worked as a car parker and I hung around the Sunset Strip with all the flower children. I had long hair and I wore raincoat.
I would not want him
sneakers,
parking
and
my
I fit
fucking car.
Right.
in.
Like, every time you get your
But I
car back,
wanted
you gotta
that.
readjust the fucking seat.
Could he reach the gas pedals?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
he's gonna move the seat up though.
But,
Mandy can drive.
yeah. Okay. Whatever.
DeVito soon moved back to New York, where he landed parts in several off-Broadway plays. Height. DeVito is 4 feet 10 inches tall. His small stature is due to his having Fairbanks disease, also called multiple epiphyseal dysplasia.
where's that?
Damn it, Joseph!
I'm
Why you
not
give her all the hard
I'm
ones?
not good at medical terms. Okay?
Called multiple epiphyseal dysplasia.
Yeah, dysplasia.
Yeah. Multiple
Make me look like an
Epiphyseal.
idiot.
epiphyseal
Epithesial?
dysplasia, which is a genetic bone growth disorder. You could have just said that.
Yeah.
A bone growth disorder.
Well, I don't read ahead. I read what I'm supposed to.
Do you want me to
now.
read the rest, or you got it?
I got it.
Okay.
I need water, you guys. You guys are causing dehydration down here. Come on. I could always lift the water off the
I'm not
floor,
doing
but I don't
anything.
think that'd be any good.
No, you probably
Just
should
read.
do that.
Crackhead.
I'm trying to talk to Karen.
Karen don't want to talk right now.
Karen, don't you love me enough to talk to me right now?
I do love you, but we're on a time
Plead the
crisis.
fifth.
We are?
Plead
Yeah,
the fifth.
read the fucking thing.
It's okay.
See, you guys are probably like, he's a dick to his daughter. And he's mean to his daughter. He's kind of an asshole. But I tell you what, you spend every day with your children, right? For those of you out there that have children, you spend every day with your fucking child. And tell me that you don't get frustrated sometimes. Yeah, I might be a little more crude than most other parents. But you know what? You know what I say to that? Fuck you.
We're all crude to our own kids. Everybody.
You should,
Do whatever I
think you
want.
should write a book on parenting.
I should.
Fuck them kids. That's what it should be called.
Don't give
We'll
me-
get to that whenever I
I'll
get
play
to
that song.
whenever
here
I
in a
get
second.
to
Fuck them
our what
kids.
you've been would you watch this week or whatever. Yeah. Anyway,
So
continue.
you
Anyways.
started writing your memoirs.
I should.
Fuck them kids.
Movies and TV shows. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. In 1971, DeVito landed the role of Martini in an off-Broadway production of Ken Kesey's. Ken Kesey's?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Classic
Forgot
novel,
that one.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The role led to DeVito's big break 4 years later, when Douglas produced a film version of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and asked DeVito to revive his stage role. Widely praised by critics, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That had Jack
Nest
Nicholson in it,
Suite.
didn't it?
Mm-hmm. He
Swept.
was in the starring role.
Yeah.
The 5 major Academy Awards: Best Picture, Actor, Actress, Director, and Screenplay in 1976, catapulting DeVito into the national spotlight. Taxi. In 1978, DeVito auditioned for a new TV series called Taxi. Before beginning his audition, DeVito famously flung the script down on the table and demanded, "One thing I want to know before we start, who wrote this shit?" I can say that because it's literature.
I don't think your dad would stop you regardless.
That display of caustic wit landed him the part of endearingly tyrannical cab dispatcher Louis De Palma. The show ran for 5 years from 1978 to 1983, and DeVito won an Emmy Award for Best Supporting Actor in 1981. Terms of Endearment, Twins, and Batman Returns. DeVito went on to star in scores of films throughout the 1980s, 1990s, and 2000s. He appeared with Jack Nicholson in 1983 film Terms of Endearment and co-starred with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the
She says it's so
1988.
Arnold
This is what's so
Schwarzenegger.
weird.
I'm gonna say it's because of your Jaeger thing. She
Arnold
was
Schwarzenegger? How are you supposed to say
Schwarzenegger?
it?
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
How am I supposed to say it?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
There's
Negger?
no Negger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's N-E.
Not Jaeger. Not Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
It sounds like you're putting some twist
I
on
like
it.
the way she says it.
Schwarzenegger.
I like the way she says it more.
Yeah, there is kind of a. I like how she says it more, but unfortunately it's just not.
More the
not said.
Australian or the Austria.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Jaeger. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, we need to
Jaeger.
stop trying to say his name improperly because it's getting almost to like a racial
Oh,
slur.
yeah, yeah.
It is getting almost there, and I think
I
we need
didn't even hear
to
it
we need
until
to
you
hold the
said it.
brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
So, like Jaeger is one
Pump
thing.
the brakes.
When
Yeah.
you're putting an N with it, it's like
Yeah, it's
that's
like,
a little-
hold on now.
Yeah.
That's where I think she was getting it from. That was the Jaeger.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my Jaeger. This isn't Jaeger. This is grape
So
Kool-Aid.
it's a cold pop.
Yeah, it's pop without
It's
any
Sunny D.
Fizz to it.
Sunny D.
And they
I think
They
it's
do make-
expired.
they do make grape Sunny D.
They do.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Does it? Is it purple?
Well,
This
you
is
can't
brown.
drink grape anything if it's not purple. That would taste weird.
I don't know about
Uh,
that.
Haven't you ever had green
Look,
grape
if you
juice?
ever if you drank just like a clear liquid that tasted like grape, it wouldn't taste like grape, even if it tasted like grape.
I know. Well, they
I
do that a
drink
lot with like
water.
flavored water and
Yeah,
shit.
I
It's
drink
weird.
flavored water.
I don't like flavored water.
I don't
because
either.
It doesn't taste like what it's supposed to taste like.
If
I'm
I
sorry,
want
it
water, I
doesn't.
just want water.
Yeah.
I'm going
I
to make
like
an orange
ice.
drink that tastes like grape.
That'd be amazing.
That would be so weird.
That's
It's
like
like,
a-
it's like that ketchup.
That's like a
that
mind
purple
fuck.
and green ketchup back in the
That
day.
tasted so
You guys
fucking.
wear-
That's why it
I
didn't.
hated
That's
that.
why it didn't take off. That's why it got like. That's why it only lasted like a year because everybody would like pour that green ketchup. It tasted like ketchup, but everybody was
I
like,
didn't like it.
"This is not right."
Yeah, because I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
When
Like,
sometimes you expect something to look a certain way. Whenever you eat it, you're like, okay, it might taste like it, but it still tastes weird.
yes, like if you drank that, it looking purple, and it tasted like, orange Fanta,
Did you know they made?
it would be weird.
They made mustard.
Wouldn't be right.
I agree.
Did you know they made mustard Skittles?
No.
What?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Co-starred with Arnold Schwarzenegger, or
Just say Arnold.
Just like this is getting too racial here. Just trying to say.
Yeah, it's
Arnold's
almost
name.
sounding racial, and it's like we're gonna get fucking flagged on YouTube.
Just trying to.
We're
We're
pronounce
just
it.
trying to say his name. I promise.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold. We're just saying Arnold.
Just say
Arnold.
In the 1988 comedy Twins, in 1992, DeVito earned rave reviews for his turn as the Penguin, the vengeful villain in Batman Returns.
Well, she
Other
did a
notable
good job
film
with
credits
that.
include Romancing the Stone, 1984,
Amazing movie.
Ruthless People,
I have never seen it.
1986,
You've never
I've
seen
seen
Romancing the
bits and
Stone?
pieces.
Throw
Really? That's a
Mama
good movie.
from the Train,
A
That's a
great
good
movie. That is
movie.
a great movie. Yep.
1987. The War of the Roses, 1989.
That's a good
L.A.
one.
Confidential, 1997.
Never seen
And
it.
Big Fish, 2003.
I love Big
That's a good
Fish.
one. Mhm.
Sorry. Gotta clear my throat. It feels funny.
His like filmography isn't that large. He
No,
didn't.
but it is.
Yeah,
It's varied,
yeah. It's very, very. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, he did.
which
he
I
doesn't-
like. I don't like people that stick with
Danny
one
DeVito.
genre.
That's weird. Whenever somebody has only done, I bet The Rock has done twice as many movies as Danny DeVito at this point.
But
But like, listen,
they're all in the
but
same
like,
genre.
listen, but Danny DeVito's he stands out more so because of the quality of movies that he's done and the roles that he's taken on.
that's what I'm saying. 'cause
Whereas The Rock
plays-
has
he
done a
plays
lot
the
of
same
forgettable
guy.
movies.
He plays the
He
same
plays
guy.
the same guy.
Yeah.
Solitary Man.
I
The
don't. You can't
Lorax,
call that
Dumbo.
acting, in my opinion.
No,
if
not
you
at all.
always play the same guy, how is that acting?
Yeah, I agree.
DeVito has made several films in the latter part of his career. He appeared with Douglas and Susan
Sarandon.
Sarandon in the drama Solitary Man, 2009, and in the romantic comedy When in Rome, 2010. With Kristen Bell, I love her. She's so
Wasn't
pretty.
he? They were both in Romancing the Stone too.
Who was the other one?
Michael Douglas. Wasn't that Michael
And
Douglas?
Yeah.
Josh Duhamel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duhamel.
Yeah. They said that. Yeah.
In
No, I'm
2012
saying like they were in it together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
In 2012, DeVito voiced the title character in the hit animated film The Lorax. Did you know The Lorax goes viral on TikTok? Memes of it viral once every year for several months.
I'll keep that in mind whenever I'm putting the tags in on this video.
It does too.
Tag
Like,
it as a Lorax.
it's been like that for 5 or 6 years now. It just went viral.
All right, what are you writing?
Hashtag Lorax.
Hashtag Lorax. Let's get it trending, people.
I'll start it.
Again, it already happened this year, Karen.
The Whoville Penny.
I
video?
will start it again. You think I
Yeah.
don't have that power?
Yeah, you got to do hashtag let it grow. Okay?
Is that a joke towards his size? Fucked up.
No.
You know I'm gonna end up like with a bunch of like penis jokes or something popping up.
No, it's
Let it grow.
Let it grow, let it grow.
It's a song.
All right,
It's a song
continue.
From the Lorax.
I'm gonna
It's
sing
called
that to
Let It
Kendra.
Grow. Let the love inside you show. Come on. Let it grow. Let the love inside you show.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Plant the seed inside the earth.
Well, yeah, somebody's definitely planting a seed.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
kinda where I was going at
this
with
is not going much better for you either. So
The Lorax, based on the popular book by Dr. Seuss, after a busy 2016 in which he appeared in Wiener Dog and The Comedian, DeVito provided voice work for the animated Animal Crackers 2017. He then starred as Ringmaster
Did
Max,
they bring up
Medici,
Look Who's Talking 3?
and Tim
'Cause he did the voice
Burton's-
work in that too. He was the
Yeah, he
dog.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
It
pretty
was
great.
rocks.
Yeah. And Tim
That wasn't
Burton's
exactly a
live-action
commercial
adaptation
success, though, either.
No, but
of
it's
Dumbo 2019.
okay.
Sure.
Made me laugh a few times.
It's part of the
Cookies and
franchise.
dirt.
Wait,
Voice more
Tim
Cookies and
Burton
Dirt.
did the live action thing of Dumbo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hated that movie when I was a kid.
I-
The animated one?
I didn't see.
I don't-
Oh,
I
the
don't-
animated. I haven't seen that.
I don't like either of them.
I haven't seen that in 100
Really?
years.
I
Yeah,
haven't
here
seen
for
the
it.
live action one, but I never liked the
All right, let's wrap
animated
this up.
one anyways. Director and producer. In addition to acting, DeVito has also enjoyed considerable success as a director and producer. Considerable. Did they suck?
What?
The movies that he directed, did they suck?
Well, he directed Matilda, and that
Yeah.
didn't suck.
No, it didn't. I love that movie.
I don't know what he's done aside from that.
Okay, it
I
might
can't
say, it
think
might
of
say, it might
anything.
say.
I'm sure.
DeVito
I'm sure I
directed
know,
several episodes of Taxi and made his feature film directional debut with the dark comedy Throw Mama
Not
from the
cool.
Train. Is that a good one?
That was a good
I
movie.
can't
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
that one.
In which he also co-starred with Billy Crystal. He has since directed half a dozen other feature films. DeVito owns his own production company, Jersey Films, earning producer credits on well-regarded films such as Pulp Fiction, 1994, Aaron
believe in you.
Brockovich, 2000,
He
and
helped
Be
produce
Cool,
that?
2005.
I didn't know he was a producer on Pulp Fiction.
I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
That's cool.
With more than four decorates. Hang on.
Just
With
skip
more
it.
than 4 decades in Hollywood as an actor, director, and producer, DeVito has seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of the film industry. Hollywood is a jungle, he once said. It's full of quicksand, vermin, and flesh-eating beasts. Making a movie is not a walk in the park. Every movie is like navigating treacherous terrain. Nevertheless, DeVito says he thrives on the cutthroat nature of the movie business. Fighting a battle and winning is fun, he once said. Adding, and this business is fun. I love it. It's the greatest business in the world. Wife. While acting in a 1970 off-Broadway production of The Shrinking Bride, DeVito met actress Rhea Perlman, best known for her long-running role on the TV sitcom Cheers. DeVito and Perlman moved in together 2 weeks after meeting and married in 1982. They had 3 children: Lucy, 1983, Gracie, 1985, and Jake, 1987. Before announcing that they were splitting in October 2012 after more than 3 decades together. In 2013, following months of separation, the couple reunited.
We couldn't stay away from each other.
Nope.
It's funny because I wonder if people wonder why we do these creator profiles.
Probably.
Because it's one thing that I understand that yes, movies are sometimes nostalgic and movies can be, they're a form of entertainment and things like that. But sometimes great movies come from great people, and that's why some of these actors are worth talking about. Like Danny DeVito. He's a guy who's been around for over 4 decades, acting in a lot of things that you probably didn't even know about. You probably didn't know he started out on a sitcom back in the 70s, or whenever we did. I don't know, just certain other actors. I know we did Danny Masterson, and everybody's like, well, but I want you to know that when we do these people, it's not always because we love them, but sometimes because we hate them. Some of these people are bad fucking people, and I think that they have a right. It's our right to.
Didn't we do the guy from The Flash, the weirdo?
No, we haven't done
No,
that.
we didn't do him.
Oh.
But
We just talked about him.
with Danny Masterson, I really wanted to bring him to light because what he did was fucked up, and it just goes to show that Hollywood's not perfect, and the people in it are definitely not fucking perfect. Some of them are really bad people, but then there are people who are like Danny DeVito or others like him that are just great
Good
fucking
general
people,
people.
good people.
Most people, though, in my experience, though, that are really good people in Hollywood are ones that have kept Hollywood at arm's length.
I agree. Yeah, that is a fact. Who else have we done? We've done
Did Keanu.
Keanu. He's one of those guys. Is like he's just a good fucking dude,
And he's kept Hollywood at arm's
but
length.
everybody knows what kind of
Personally.
guy that Keanu is because he's been put in the light a lot here lately because of the movies that he's done. But like, I just think that some of these guys, like I was gonna do Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I'm like everybody knows who he is and his life events and things like that. Like, but people don't talk about great actors like Danny DeVito. You know, the guy
That's a
who's
good
been
pick.
around,
Yeah, it's a good pick.
and he's a good person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a great fucking person. So if you guys ever wonder why we make the picks that we make, it's usually for a good reason.
Well, and I
And-
think if you're tuning into a podcast like this, it's because you're interested not only in movies, but like, you know, me, like I'm interested in the background.
Exactly.
I don't just care about the movie. Like I want to know.
Yeah, we talk about the movie,
you
we
know.
give our opinion on it, but one of my favorite segments is listening to Karen's trivia. I love hearing about shit that happened during the making of the movies, you know, or the actors and things like that. I like
I
hearing
like the
about that
intricate
stuff.
details. I like the background. That's part of the reason I love, you know, makeup and
Yeah, this
like, I wanna
this
know how it's
podcast
made.
isn't just here to entertain you; it's also here for knowledge, and we try to give you as much as we know.
movie knowledge. We're not trying to teach you anything real.
No, yeah, no,
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
listen to our.
Yeah, don't listen to our
philosophies.
parenting advice or nothing. But
You
I just
should.
thought.
I'm great. I turned out great, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, favorite Danny DeVito movie or directed movie?
Mm.
Do shows count?
Shit.
Yeah, I'd say so. Shows do.
You
Well,
know,
I don't know,
honestly,
like-
when it comes to his,
Let's do movies because It's Always Sunny is a great show.
Yeah, that's really. I mean,
Like, but that's more than
everybody
just
would just
him.
say that.
Yeah, that's more than just him though.
As far as acting goes, I'm going to say Matilda because, I mean, I thought he did a great job portraying the person he was in that movie during a time that he had to also be off screen, be a different kind of person to her.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think for me, it's hands down going to be Batman Returns.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
fucking Penguin.
Really?
yeah,
Great.
fuck yeah, Penguin.
I hate the Batman movies. I can't side with you there.
The Penguin though, he was the Penguin.
Yeah, he was cool, but like I don't like those movies.
I was just saying Matilda because I mean he really had to dig into that,
Yeah,
that character
yeah.
during the scene, but then also switch out of it right after.
What are you reading a book for? There's a TV right here.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was just looking through here just real quick to make sure, but I'm probably thinking Throw Mama from the Train.
From the
I
Train.
really like
It's
that.
a good
That's
movie.
funny
though.
as- that's
That'd
funny
probably be
as
my
fuck.
second
Yeah.
of his.
But I agree with you.
I know One
Matilda-
Flew Over the
Matilda
Cuckoo's Nest is
probably
really good.
just because of the background,
yeah.
but the
Yeah.
movie itself,
Yeah, the movie
I don't.
itself.
I
yeah.
don't. But Throw Mama from the Train for the movie itself, yeah, that's hilarious.
What about you?
I liked Matilda before I watched this movie, but this movie's probably my new favorite because I actually really like this movie. So,
Okay.
twins.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Batman Returns in my opinion. But anyway,
Hey, but like we all got a different one though. So.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. We,
Yeah, I don't
it's
think-
pretty rare.
usually
actually.
we're like, oh, this one, like, yeah.
or like somebody says something like, "Damn it, no, that
But
that one."
but that's nice.
Yeah.
But that's nice though because that just shows what kind of like diverse set of movies he's made. So
Mm, oh
that's
yeah,
good.
yeah, definitely.
Anyway, let's get into what everybody's been watching.
What the hell have you been watching?
Let's start with Madison.
Madison. I've been watching a lot. Oh, I watched a little bit of The Walking Dead, but not a lot of it because I've been watching Future Man, which is really, really funny. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, it's produced by Seth Rogen. I know what you're talking about. I've never seen it, but I know what it is.
Funny. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever.
Since
heard
we
of
watched
it.
the Five Nights at Freddy movie, she's been watching Josh Hutcherson on that Future Man show.
What's Future Man?
It's like a comedy
Okay.
series on.
So,
it was
it's
it used to be on Hulu.
It's not anymore. I've been watching it.
No, wait, I do know what
I've
you're
been
talking
watching
about.
it
Never
on
mind.
good sites that I'm supposed to be on watching things.
I do know what you're talking about because
that
I
won't get
remember
arrested
seeing the
for.
thing on Hulu. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yep. Never mind.
Yeah, it's such a good show. It's really funny though. Yeah. I'm on season 2. There were only 13 episodes in the first season. But that's pretty much it though. I don't think I watched any movies.
Eric.
So, shit, you asked me.
You asked him too fast.
Yeah, because I was about to pull up some of the movies. I watched Detective Pikachu. Yeah. Then I watched.
That movie wasn't that bad.
No, I enjoyed
I
it.
liked
that
it.
movie.
Is that the Ryan Reynolds one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that one. No.
It's good.
Dracula 2000.
It's funny that you're saying that because I'm literally listening to a podcast about Dracula 2000 right now.
Yeah.
It's from
I think I've
that.
seen that once, like when it first came out, and that's it.
I was just sitting
It's
at home
it's the
and, like,
one.
it came on
it's that
TikTok.
podcast I told you no such thing as a bad movie or a bad flick or whatever. And the newest one they just put out is Dracula 2000. So I've been listening to it.
The only thing I remember about that movie was being kind of intrigued about the fact that they said Judas was the first vampire because it was. His
You've never
punishment.
seen Dracula? You've only seen it once?
I've only seen it once.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Like it's a Wes Craven movie.
Yeah, I know. I just only saw it once. I found that fascinating
That they made Judas the first.
that that was his punishment and that was where vampires came from. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
As
I
a
liked the
theory.
movie.
Yeah.
It was
It gets some shitty flack, but like I like the movie.
I really
Right.
should watch it again just because I don't remember hating it. It's just
Yeah,
I've just
I
never
never-
watched it
yeah.
again.
the actor's name that played him. I can't.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah. Didn't know that was him at first. The first time.
It's like one of his first roles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was like, "What? This is why I watched."
I was
it, 'cause
like
I was on
pre
TikTok.
300.
Oh, and you seen
Seen it on TikTok. I was like, "Huh, all right, I'm kind of interested in watching this again."
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Speaking of Danny Masterson,
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
he was in that too.
By the way.
he didn't force himself on any girls in that one though.
No, he tried to force himself on a guy though.
That's
Oh,
cool.
I was gonna say a rare non-sexual assault movie for Danny Masterson, but never mind.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Sorry.
that, and then I watched Scrubs, and was it Roscoe Jenkins? Roscoe Jenkins? I can't remember the name of the movie now. It's got a shit. I can't even
Is
think
it
of the
Welcome
actor.
Home, Roscoe Jenkins or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I know what
one.
you're talking about.
Yeah, I watched that too with Kendra. That's all I watched.
Okay.
I
Karen.
got
I don't
season
think I've
3
ever
of
heard of that.
Scrubs.
Welcome home, Roscoe Jenkins. Man, I ain't heard of like half the shit you guys are talking about this week.
What? We know more about movies than Karen this week?
Yeah, apparently. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Never heard
That's
of
how
that
I
shit.
feel every week.
That
I'm
shit
not
ain't
gonna
real.
lie.
The
You guys ain't even watching real movies. You're
you
just
guys are making this shit
you're just
up.
making, you're throwing words together
You
and
guys are
making it
fucking with me
movies.
this week, aren't you? I watched the new Goosebumps movie or show on Hulu.
Is that any good?
I only watched the first episode, but I am intrigued.
Is that the one with Justin
Long.
Long?
Yeah,
That's
I
not
am-
the Disney one, is it? No.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it Disney?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, it's
oh,
on-
yeah, because it was on Disney Plus. Yeah, but we only watched the one episode. I'm intrigued so far. What I think is neat.
Martin Lawrence movie.
Yeah.
What I think is neat is that they have the same titles as the books, and they have like certain things in common, but it is not exact. Like it's not exact like to the book. Like it'll have the same storyline, but it varies enough to.
That
keep
is
you
the Fall of the
interested.
House of Usher.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay.
They have the name of his stories, but they only
the storyline is there
slightly
as like a
as like an outline essentially.
yeah, it's kind of an outline and it keeps that storyline, but they
It's
varied
just
it enough
different.
Mhm.
to keep you interested.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the first episode anyway. So I'll keep watching it at least
Till you
until-
lose interest.
until it makes me mad or
I'm not
whatever.
angry that they're
If it-
doing that with new
no
content.
honestly,
It's
like,
kind of nice.
Jeremiah he's not as in it as I am. Like he really didn't like the teenagers in it. He said they were all annoying. He said that
They're teenagers.
That's what I said. I was like, I don't think we're supposed to like them. I really don't. I
Supposed
don't
to just like Justin Long. He's the
Yeah.
only one that matters.
yeah, I don't think we're supposed to like them. I think we're just supposed to watch the show and
Yeah.
get into the stories if we're going
Okay.
to.
Fuck them kids.
I might
Them
check it out
kids,
eventually.
I liked it. So far. I watched the Banana Splits movie.
Ooh.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah.
The
Jeremiah
animatronic
talked me into
thing?
it. Huh?
What?
It's a horror
It's
movie.
it's
about,
like
About animatronics?
yeah, it's about
Yeah.
animatronics.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
hearing about that.
yeah.
What?
It's
It came out like a year or two ago.
yeah. It was good.
Did they make
I never
banana
watched it.
splits? I mean,
No,
That's
it's,
what they were
you never
called.
heard of the Banana Splits? They were from the
60s.
60s? 60s or 70s?
Late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
And like they were a lot like Five Nights at Freddy's, only they weren't animatronics; they were people in suits.
Yeah, there were people in suits.
But
yeah.
they entertained kids and this and that. Well, they took and made a twist out of it and made them murdering.
On the
cybernetic-
kids and everybody
Murdering
thinks.
furries.
Well, on the
Well,
show, they think
yeah,
all the kids, the
pretty
parents,
much.
and everybody thinks that they're people in suits because that's what they look like. They look like people in suits, but really they're robots that this guy created, and they go haywire because he does an update and the update goes wrong. And
So it was Megan.
no, because Megan wasn't good. Banana Splits movie was decent. It's worth a watch. I watched The Exorcist Believer.
Ah, nope. That explains that Rotten Tomato score.
You know,
It's not doing well at all.
here's where I was done with. I mean, I was done. I was getting towards done, but this was where I was like, I wanted to crawl.
I really have no interest.
I wanted to crawl through the screen and just strangle everybody so that everybody could just be done with me.
They need to stop giving David Gordon Green properties.
Well, this was the problem. So in the first one, Chris McNeil was the mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so the girl, she took her daughter to like every doctor known to man and everything. And finally, one doctor looked at her and said, "We have done everything we can do for your daughter. You need to find a priest." Because what was Chris McNeil? She was an atheist. She did not believe in God, correct?
Yeah.
Just so we're all clear on that, right?
I'm surprised she did this movie after she got that back injury from the first one.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so this guy goes to talk to her or whatever, and he's like, well, why weren't you involved in the first exorcism with your daughter or whatever? And she's like, well, you want my opinion? It was because of the patriarchy. No, bitch, it's because one, you aren't a fucking priest, and two, you're an atheist. Why would they want you in the room?
The patriarchy, huh?
Yeah, it's because she's not a man.
Wow. Okay.
Last time I checked,
So what
why
did
would
they?
they want somebody with
What did they
weak
say?
faith in the room?
How did they explain her daughter? Did she die or something?
Oh, that was another problem I had with it. So Reagan and her had a falling out because she wrote a book, and Reagan didn't like that she wrote a book. Yeah.
That's like every movie ever. If anyone ever gets separated,
Well,
That is a
first of
cop
all-
out. Like, oh, we couldn't.
First of all,
we didn't want to
her
bring her
problem-
in.
Her problem was that Reagan had a problem with it because her mom wrote this book about her ordeal and blah 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 blah. Well, at the end of the first movie, Reagan didn't remember anything.
Right.
And that's supposed to be a direct sequel. So why would Reagan have a problem with her mom writing a book about her ordeal if she didn't remember
Not
anything?
to mention, I remember them in the original movie having a great relationship, even at the end of the movie.
Mhm.
So, okay, so what this tells me is what they did was they were like, we can't have both Reagan and her mom in this movie because they're going to take away from the actual story of what I'm trying to tell.
They have to build up towards Reagan getting involved.
Probably even. Yeah,
No.
she'll probably be
They
in like
do.
the
Trust
second or
me.
third
No,
one.
they do. Trust me.
Is she in?
Because guess who shows up at the end?
Of course she does. I don't
And he'll
wanna
probably
watch
be
it.
involved in the next ones. And all
Yeah,
that. You
I'm
know what
good.
I'm saying? Like, fuck that movie.
I'm good,
Fuck
man.
that movie so hard. Just don't watch it.
I'm good.
I watched Lights Out because
I give 10.
I swear I've never seen it. I didn't remember it at all. Jeremiah
Lights
says
Out?
We've seen
Yeah.
it. It was okay. It was decent.
Yeah.
I watched.
It was another paint by numbers, run of the mill.
Yeah,
It's one of
it had
those.
some decent like scares, but
Yeah.
like it's not. It's okay.
It's definitely in that same thread of movie where that The Ring started back and The Grudge started back in
Mhm.
like the early 2000s.
and where
shit,
those were
so.
kind of original and kind of really good, at first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched that show. I've been watching the A Haunting, that '90s show, or it has the '90s formula where people are talking and all that. And then I watched Us, that Jordan Peele movie.
Good movie.
For
His least good movie.
I
but
would
still a good
say
movie.
for me it's a miss.
Is it?
I didn't care for it.
I liked it.
I liked
Not my
I-
favorite of his,
I
but I,
liked
still liked
the
it.
twist, but I did not understand how it would work out. I didn't understand how, like, if that's where she was taken at and it was so easy for the one to come out and take her, why wouldn't she just come out?
I mean, there's a lot of plot holes in the
Exactly,
movie. I
I
agree
did-
with that.
I think it was a swing and a miss.
There's a
for
lot of
them.
weird things about the movie, like the fact that like the entire planet apparently is cloned or something.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know,
eventually, well, I mean, I kind of understood that. I get that. But, like, eventually her plan's all going to fall apart because wouldn't they know who she is?
Yeah, probably.
I'm just saying, like, in my opinion, it was a swing and a miss. It was gonna happen. It happens to all directors.
It's only his second movie.
Yeah, it was his second movie, but it's his third movie altogether. But it was gonna happen eventually. It's fine. I don't
care. Nope was the shit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's probably my favorite movie.
It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna keep watching his movies.
Yeah.
Every director has a swing and a miss, or two, or three.
I think of all his movies, Nope is my favorite.
I
really
agree.
like that one.
Nope.
I went out of my way to watch that one with Ada.
Nope is really good.
Nope is good.
Anyway,
I
that's
love
all.
that movie.
That's it. That's all I watched.
I didn't watch much this week. I watched we've been watching Impractical Jokers
I like that.
with the
show.
kids. Like Jackson's really into it. He loves it. And Gavin just cracks up laughing. So we've been watching a lot of that during dinner. I've been slowly getting through more Supernatural. I don't think I've watched any of it yet this week.
I think I watched a couple episodes actually.
And then I watched we've been watching Gen V still. I still haven't watched that one this week yet either. There's a new episode out. And then I think the only movie I watched, aside from that Five Nights at Freddy movie, which you should go check out our podcast for.
Yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah, watch that we just did that Friday.
Yep.
We were a little, if you know what I mean.
That one
Especially
eventually-
Eric. He went home and laughed like butthead all night.
I was like 2 minutes straight in the podcast of me sitting here laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
I had the giggles that night.
Yeah, you
Holy
did.
shit.
And we had a special guest on that one, yours truly, Karen's husband, Jeremiah. So go check that one out. Also, so I went ahead and watched that Old Dads movie on Netflix, the one with Bill Burr.
Oh yeah.
So I started out that movie with like, okay,
Somebody else I know watched that too.
yeah. So it started out like, okay, Bill Burr's an asshole because he's angry. You know,
Yeah.
he's always angry. And this is something that he wrote and directed this movie. But this is something that he's been open about. Like his dad was an angry dude. His dad was always yelling, and it's something that he gets a lot from him, and it's something that he's always tried to correct about himself. And you can see that in this movie because that's really what the story is about. Because he starts out, so essentially what it
Did you
is,
ever
he's
watch
like,
F is for Family?
yes, I've seen.
Yeah,
I've seen
you
some of
see
it.
that a lot in that too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and he's like the type of guy. So he's got a family. He's like 50 or something. And that's why it's called Old Dads. And but it's comedy, and it's about him and his wife having a son, and he's trying to raise his son to be kind of tough, you know what I mean, and not be a pussy. And but he's going to like this private school where everybody's feelings matter.
Oh, fuck.
And this and that, and like his wife wants him to be cordial because this teacher's recommendation will get him into a great boarding school or something like that.
Yeah, that's good.
And so he's trying to toe the line and trying to watch his anger and mind his P's and Q's, but it's really hard for him. And it's typical Bill Burr comedy, which is fucking great because I love Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And so he's always yelling and angry. He calls this lady a stumpy cunt and all kinds of shit. So he's like, "You stumpy cunt," you know what I mean? How Bill Burr does it. It's like, so the movie, I was like, you know, if at the end of the movie he like finds himself like, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't be such, you know, a hard dad and blah, blah, blah. I was like, if it turns out to be like that, I'm done. Like this movie's going to suck dick.
Yeah.
But his entire resolution
Like
at
doing
the end,
a complete 180.
yeah, do a 180 on his whole personality. But it wasn't that. So the end of the movie, I don't know if you're going to watch it or not.
I
but
plan to, but I mean, I can kind of see where you're going with it.
at the end of the movie, instead of just being like completely changed his personality, he just lightens up. That's his character arc. I'm like, okay, I get behind that. Like, I'm okay with that. So like, it's a funny movie though. I mean, me and Crystal laughed at it. Everything he was saying and doing, I was like, that's me. That's me. I say that. Like, just rub some dirt on it. And this guy comes over and he's like,
Yeah.
he comes over and he's like, hey, you should probably get him some Neosporin and a Bandit. He's like, you should mind your own fucking business. I'm trying to raise a man here, not a fucking pussy. You know, it's just,
I really liked the F is for Family for that too. It was a very realistic portrayal rather than the bullshit you usually see.
it's a good movie. I suggest checking it out. I definitely recommend it. So it's a good movie.
I'll watch it.
I think that's all I watched this week. I don't think I watched any other movies that I can remember. I haven't even watched a new Chucky episode. I haven't. That movie, like the Five Nights at Freddy movie, was like That's my limit. But now that it's getting cold out, I might watch more. I don't know. I've been playing a lot of video games. So I've been playing Star Citizen, which is
It's like beef ramen down here.
okay.
Oh.
So it's probably your bread.
Say I don't
But,
smell anything.
But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Star Citizen, which is like this game that is like an open world, actually open solar system, I should say, because you can travel the entire solar system. So these different planets and everything. It's pretty fucking
What
wild
game?
game. Called Star Citizen.
Yeah.
It's complete bonkers. It's bonkers how big this game is.
I got stuck on a point on it. I haven't.
No, not Starfield. Star Citizen. Yeah, different. Also, that's pretty much all I've been doing is that game.
I only had played like 1 hour.
Well, that beta came out for that the finals.
Yeah,
that
I
shooter.
played like a couple rounds in it.
I liked it. I liked that
Yeah,
game.
I did.
It's
really-
fun.
I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Definitely has that old arcade sound.
Yeah.
to it,
I liked it. And then I got like a couple other buddies in on it. Like I got Jordan and Brandon playing,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Dude, this game's kind of fun." I was like, "Yeah, I agree." So we're kind of playing a little bit. It's like open beta for a few days.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's all I watched. All I've been doing, unless you count YouTube. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on Star Citizen. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get into our movie here. Yeah.
Let's talk about the movie.
Yep. Oh man, so we watched Twins. Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
Watch it.
Careful.
Careful. And where was I? Oh yeah, I had a brain fart. My bad. Anyway, we watched Twins this week, and we're gonna go around the table. Or no, you got a plot synopsis?
I do.
Oh god.
Let's read that plot synopsis.
Julius and Vincent Benedict are the results of an experiment that would allow for the perfect child. Julius was planned and grows to athletic proportions. Vincent is an accident and is somewhat smaller in stature. Vincent is placed in an orphanage while Julius is taken to a South Seas island and raised by philosophers. Vincent becomes the ultimate lowlife and is about to be killed by loan sharks. It's 1 hour and 47 minutes, rated PG. Arnold is Julius Benedict. Danny DeVito is Vincent. Kelly Preston as Marnie Mason. Chloe Webb as Linda Mason. And Bonnie Bartlett as Old Marianne Benedict. That's as far as I'm going.
Alrighty. Let's go around the table here. Would you watch and recommend? Would you recommend, Eric?
Yeah, I'd recommend it. It's not the first time I watched it, and I'd definitely watch again.
Okay.
So
Madison.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. All right, Karen.
I'd
So-
recommend it. I probably won't watch it again though.
For me, I want to say no and no.
Oh.
I don't like this movie.
Don't?
I don't. I thought I did, and I don't. I watched it whenever I was younger, and I was like, I
I'd
ain't seen
recommend
it, in
it for
years.
because it's a classic. Everybody, I think you should
eh.
see it.
I don't think you need to. Don't. Of all of Arnold and Danny DeVito's movies, you don't need to. And put this at the bottom of your list. Like, it's not, like, I got my reasons, and we'll get there, but I'm not a fan. If you want to watch it, go ahead, but it's not my thing.
just crushed your daughter's dream.
I don't
right
care.
there.
I didn't. It, like, I remember
I'm
watching
kind of
it-
with your dad. I didn't.
Yeah, I
it's-
watched it as a kid, and I was like, yeah,
It's man.
Twins. And then I watched it this time, and I'm like, this movie is not as good as I remember. Anyway, we'll get into it though.
Didn't age well. Let's
I'm
put it
glad,
that
but
way.
I'm glad that
it's just
I'm glad we're watching a movie that we don't have to like. So, because it seems like every movie we're like, oh yeah, we totally recommend this. Like, I'm glad that we got a movie. I'm like, I don't like this movie. I don't like it. So, anyway,
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it, but I don't like it. It's just not something that I would be like, you should totally watch Twins. I'm not going to say that to people.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that if I'm going to recommend 5 fucking movies, this isn't going to be on there.
I guess my perspective is like I can see why it did well when it came out.
Yeah.
And why it's considered a classic. That's why I would say for people who are movie connoisseurs, yeah, you should
You know what?
probably,
You know what?
watch it.
You know
That's
what
my
kills this movie the
recommendation.
most? The fucking music. It is so bad and cheesy and cheap. It sounds cheap. I didn't like it. It couldn't get me. Like, that's what sometimes I've noticed lately a lot with a lot of movies and games and everything. music is like something that really makes and breaks like the vibe of what your entertainment is.
The vibe
Oh,
is
yeah.
very much
So-
set, but yeah. I didn't really notice it so much in this one, which is probably a bad thing, honestly. But
Might be. I was just like the whole time I'm like, this is like the cheapest, cheesiest music. It sounds like something that you would have gotten out of like a 90s B movie. Like it reminded me, you remember that movie called was it Prehistoria about them little dinosaurs?
Oh, yeah. I never watched.
You remember that
but
fucking that had shitty
little
music in it.
dinosaurs?
Yeah, the little dinosaurs that they, you
I
know.
remember that movie.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't watch it.
So the music in that movie is what I always hated about that movie. And that's what this music in this movie reminds me of, is that fucking movie. I used to like that movie, but the only thing I couldn't stand about that movie as a kid was the dumbass cheesy music.
We should put that in the box.
I'll just say I wouldn't recommend that either.
Yeah, we can just go around the table right now.
Yeah, would you watch that? No. Does anybody here else want to watch it? No. Okay, well then we're not watching it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
You might have to
I'll
skip
watch
me.
it.
I didn't watch
I
it.
don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, I'll go
Listen.
ahead and read the plot for this one. I feel like Karen does enough reading with everything else, and Madison just read the creator
I
profile.
can read more if you want me to.
I got this. This one ain't as long.
He said, "I got this."
I got this.
Well, fuck you guys.
Stand
too.
down, Madison.
Stand down, you readaphobic or or no, that's not right.
Readaholic.
Readaholic. Yeah,
I just take the times.
you wordaholic.
We're giving you a
Anyway,
break,
let's go
too.
ahead and kick this shit off.
Like,
because you laughed too much on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, his voice still hurts.
It does. I did. I sound
Seth
like
Rogen over there.
All right. Hold on, wait.
Is it long?
La 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 la.
Oh, God.
La 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 la. Okay, I'm good.
Is it long?
No, it's not long.
That's what she said. I'm sorry, that's what she asked.
And then she was disappointed.
Sorry, I was just, I don't know where I was going with that.
Uh,
Anyway, Julius and Vincent Benedict are fraternal twins. The results of a secret experiment carried out at a genetic laboratory to produce the perfect child. Using sperm donated by 6 different fathers, the mother, Marianne Benedict, was told that the child died at birth, while the child were informed once. What the fuck? While the
Children.
children were informed once old enough that their mother died in childbirth. Accepting this, Marianne had gone on to become a successful artist. While successful, the program was considered a failure and shut down because of the conception of twins, one inheriting the desirable traits and the other being the genetic trash. It's fucked up.
That was fucked up.
They're an asshole to Vincent in this whole
Yeah,
movie.
they
They're
were.
like, you're genetic trash. Like, what the fuck? Who
Yeah.
says that to
You were
somebody?
just the trash. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Vincent was placed in an orphanage run by nuns in Los Angeles, California, while Julius was taken to an unnamed South Pacific island.
So,
How did they know which twin was gonna be the trash and which one was gonna be?
I'm sure they ran tests on him and shit like that. I mean, look at how big the one baby was compared to the
They
other.
were
at the
both
beginning.
too big to be newborns.
Well, that's for sure,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But like, if you look at the one baby compared to the other, like Arnold was definitely the larger one. You know?
I know, but still,
Yeah, I know.
when they're babies, it's kind of
What
like
was- what
just
was-
because one looks bigger and all that, like what if since they were twins, right?
Well, they've been doing this since like
One
the
was crying, the other-
ancient Spartans used to do the same thing. If you've ever seen 300,
Yeah,
but like they actually used to do that.
but they based it on looks. They were trying to get Julius for like smarts, physicality, all of it.
yeah, they probably.
So
ran
how
would they
brain
know that,
tests
like,
and
Spartans
what if-
based
what
it
if-
off of
what if-
deformalities.
Yeah, what if the baby?
right, I understand that. So they
Deformities,
I can I think
deformalities.
I understand how you can do that. Like, so kids are only as smart as you make them. They're not usually not
They're a
naturally
sponge.
smart. Yeah, they're a sponge. They take in their surroundings, and to an extent, they know what they're taught, and based on how they eat and things like that, and how healthy their brain is. If he's got a healthy brain at a baby, you can know that at an early age.
Yeah, but also there's genetics to take into consideration. So if the one baby looked perfect, right, and the other one was small, how do they know that, like, okay, Vincent maybe he was small, but maybe he was smarter. Maybe he had, other traits that this one didn't, that they weren't taking into consideration
Vincent
just
cried
because
too
they couldn't
much.
see it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Vincent
Just
cried
throwing
too
it out
much.
there.
Mhm.
Just like they showed when Vincent was crying and the
No,
other
I liked
father-
how the baby like kicked
Arnold.
Arnold
Yeah.
and he
And-
starts crying and
and
then
it
he's
made him
kinda
happy?
and he was like smiling about it.
Yeah.
It was funny.
That's how they knew. He's
Uh,
a dick.
He was a dick.
Okay. Julius was taken to an unnamed Pacific island and raised by Professor Werner, one of the scientists involved in the experiment. Like a modern Doc Savage, like a modern Doc Savage to become highly intelligent. Okay, whatever. Physically very strong and spiritually pure. He learned to speak 12 languages and excelled in mathematics, history, science, and literature. He was not told about his younger brother until his 35th birthday.
God
and-
dang.
In Los Angeles, with no one but himself to rely on, Vincent escaped from the orphanage as soon as he was old enough to develop into a shady lowlife. Involved in shady business deals and car theft, and in debt to notorious loan sharks, the Clan brothers. Clan? Is it Clan or Clan?
Clam?
Clan. It's Clan.
Clan?
Klane.
Clay.
Clay.
Clan? Is it
Clan, is it
Clan?
Clan?
Okay.
Clean
No.
brother.
Well, I just wondered because there's an E at the end. So, he is also a womanizer and a smart aleck with a lust for money. Eventually, his debts catch up with him, and he is arrested for unpaid parking tickets. Julius is told about his unknown brother by Werner, comes to Los Angeles to look for him. Highly intelligent but extremely naive about the real world his more worldly brother inhabits. He bails Vincent out of jail, but is immediately afterwards snubbed by Vincent, who leaves him in the prison parking or car park. Julius, however, tracks Vincent to his workplace where he is being beaten by one of the Clane brothers, Morris, for the unpaid debt. Julius easily bests Morris and earns Vincent's respect and trust. He eventually meets Vincent's on-off girlfriend. Okay, that's a weird way to put it. Linda Mason. Knowing little about women, Julius doesn't understand the flirtatious advances of her blonde sister, Marnie, who is fucking sexy.
It's Kelly Preston.
Yeah. Yeah, she can be whoever she wants. Who also dislikes Vincent, but eventually falls in love with her. Vincent soon reveals to Julius a document he stole from the orphanage when he ran away that proves that their mother is in fact still alive, yet Vincent, under the belief his mother abandoned him at birth, shows no interest in tracking her down. Julius, however, finds their mother's address on the document and pays the place a visit. While their mother is not there, Julius meets one of the 6 fathers who fills him in on the experiment and informs him of the other scientist, Mitchell Traven, who might know where their mother is. Okay. Well, yep, this is longer than I thought it was. Using a stolen Cadillac that carries a secret prototype fuel injector, which Vincent is delivering to a rival industrialist in Houston, Texas, in exchange for $5 million, which he intends to use to pay the money he owes to the Clane brothers. The two couples go on a cross-country journey to track Traven down. They eventually find Traven in Los Alamos, New Mexico, who tells them that their mother is living in an art colony near Santa Fe. On the way to the colony, they're found at a bar by the Clane brothers with the intent of killing Vincent, but Julius and Vincent beat them back and fight them off for the last time. Reaching the colony, they're informed their mother died and leave. And literally, in reality, the woman who told them of the passing is in fact their mother, but she didn't believe the story, fearing they were land speculators. Okay, yeah, speculators. And since she didn't even know she had twins, little do they know that the real contract delivery man for the injector, Mr. Webster, is tracking them. This man has the uncomfortable habit of killing the people who cross him in his business, including his contractors, if they see his face, in order to preserve his identity. At one point earlier in the film, Webster breaks into Vincent's house to interrupt him. Crossing paths with the Klain brothers in a skirmish, he shoots two of them in the legs, but does not kill them. While Julius seems to accept their mother's death, Vincent, however, is angry and disappointed, taking it out on Linda and Julius. Vincent storms off, leaving Julius and the girls stranded in New Mexico to deliver the engine to the industrialist, Beetroot McKinley. That's a weird fucking first name. Beetroot. That's a weird name. Beetroot McKinley. I'm a Texan.
Take it on down south, down to Texas, and
Yeah.
see how it goes down there.
Linda informs Julius of the engine, and Julius embarks on another journey to track down his brother. Vincent eventually delivers the stolen property to McKinley, but as Vincent is about to return home with the money, McKinley is shot and killed by Webster, who then turns his attention to Vincent just as Julius arrives. A cat and mouse chase ensues, and Julius intercepts Webster as Vincent flees, but Vincent, hearing his brother's voice, reluctantly goes back and gives up the money to Webster, but as Webster prepares to kill them both for seeing his face, Julius stalls Webster long enough for Vincent to release a heavy chain onto Webster's head, killing him and burying him in a mountain of chains.
Yeah, Jesus, that chain.
Yeah, no shit. I was like, God damn.
That'd kill somebody. That weight.
Yeah,
Maybe
it did.
Well,
But, like, why? Where? Who?
where'd all that chain come from?
No shit. Like, there's a lot of chain.
What do they do there?
Yeah, what do they need that much chain
They
for?
make chains.
That's my
Oh,
guess.
Yeah.
That's my guess. They make chains there.
Yeah.
That's
Must
what it
be.
was.
So, yeah.
They were working on the world's longest chain.
And that was the assembly line. They just released the whole assembly
I
line.
also didn't like their
That's what
little
happened.
psychic connection between the two of them.
I actually wrote that down as one of my first notes. Like, he's never met his brother before and didn't know he had a brother, and now all of a sudden he's got a psychic connection to him.
Yeah, it's weird.
Where did that come from?
It's always been there.
How could it be if he didn't?
They had to be within close proximity
Maybe they
of each
had to
other.
like see each
Telepathic.
other to unlock it.
He didn't though, because like right after he tells him he has a brother, he goes, "I can sense he's in trouble." How do you? What?
It is stupid.
You
I thought it
ever
was
watch
kind of
Beverly
dumb
Hills
thing.
Ninja?
That is completely different.
That's meant to be
Yeah.
over the top.
Julius and Vincent make amends, and Vincent reluctantly agrees to return the money to the stolen engine to the authorities, but Vincent secretly skims off $1 million. See, they don't even mention that though. Like, so they say, "Oh, yeah, our glider
Yeah, they
returned the
never
$4
brought
million."
that. Yeah, they never brought that back up.
But they
you know
never-
he kept a
Yeah,
million.
he kept $1 million. Like, but they don't even like give you a little wink or nothing.
Yeah, like
that
he
like
doesn't
that's
even
what he did.
let his brother know, like, hey, we
Yeah,
still got $1 million.
We still got $1 million. He didn't say none of that. He's like, yeah, I'm glad I returned that $4 million. That just goes to show that Vincent's character had no arc. He's still a piece of shit.
It
Yeah,
had
like,
that tiny
if he-
arc, but not a big
but
one.
even if like he had, it could have shown that he changed if he showed that, like, hey, I'm planning to share it with my family by saying, I still have $1 million, right? Or like,
Yeah.
but like, no, he just said,
Even
yeah,
then,
we
though,
get
why
back
would
$4
you
million.
give the $5 million back? Like, they
Yeah.
don't know anything about that money.
Mm-mm.
The authorities don't know. That dude's dead.
Yeah.
They can't track the fucking bills.
Yeah,
Like,
and
who gives
like,
a shit?
it was coming
Especially
from
in
criminals
cash.
anyway.
Yeah, like it's coming from criminals. Who gives a shit? That's all
or
unmarked.
and if you're gonna give $4 million away, give it to somebody good and keep your million
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I mean? Like, give it to like a charity or like give.
Yeah, you're just giving it back to the corporation that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, Okay. Meanwhile, the twins publicity reaches the art colony, and their mother realizes that the two comedians who visited her, in fact, her long lost sons are in fact this isn't right. Are in fact her long lost sons. Julius and Vincent marry the Masons, and use the $50,000 reward money to start up a legitimate consulting business. Okay, you're not gonna start up a legitimate consulting business for $50,000.
You sure? Back then, because a BMW
Okay,
cost
yeah.
$4,000.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
What's a consulting business?
It's like business consultants and shit like that. They consult people about consulting stuff.
Basically,
Thanks,
if a lot of times they have certain what's the word? Like they have certain things that they're really good at. Usually, they have a certain field, and so they, people will call them up and say, "Hey, like I need help in this, or like getting my business started in this," and they will go and they will help them do that because they're really good at it.
Although I don't know how the fuck. I guess maybe. Yeah, I can see it.
It's kind of like you've seen those people that go into restaurants and flip them.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but they would have certain
Profits.
fields that they would be
Right.
good at.
Utilizing Julius's knowledge and Vincent's questionable business savvy, and their mother eventually tracks them down to the office, and they share a tearful reunion. In the end, both brothers end up having pairs of twins with their respective wives, their mother and Professor Warner as a big happy family.
See, here's a question I have on that too. So Professor was Warner.
Yeah, Warner.
He obviously knew that they lied to the mom and all that, and he kept the other kid.
Yeah.
Don't you think the mom would be a little more
Yeah, a little
upset with
pissed off at
And
him, too.
Julius too, like, hey, motherfucker, you knew my mom was still alive.
I think
You
everybody
knew.
that was involved in that, they should have all been mad at.
Yeah,
Like there should have been a giant
lawsuit.
There should have been like some serious anger. Like
There's-
I don't care
there
how
would
nice
definitely-
you were,
There would
like,
definitely be massive repercussions for something like that.
Yeah, like Werner. Okay, like
And
yeah, I could see forgiving
Vincent
him.
would know that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I could see like them maybe forgiving Werner at a certain point because he raised Vincent, or not
He
Vincent,
also
but
lied to him his whole life.
he raised Julius. But at some point in time, like, where does the anger come from? Because his brother could have had a much better life had they brought
Exactly.
him too.
Yep.
And Julius is eventually going to realize that he may be a little innocent now, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand that either. Like, you think he would be mad at him for not telling him for 35 years, and you think his mom would be mad at him for not telling him about either of them. So it makes no sense to me. I'm like, but
everybody involved.
The
But I
ending
guess
of the
for
movie
in,
just
in
didn't
the,
make sense to.
there's a lot of
In the
liberties
vein
with
of
this
it-
storyline. So
in the vein of it being a lighthearted comedy, I understand, but
right,
at the same time, you look
think.
at it, you think about it, and you're like, my God, I would be so angry.
yeah, for sure.
But like, okay, so Vincent goes to an orphanage, but he still knows his name. He keeps his name and knows his background. Like that's
Maybe they
pretty
looked
fucking
at the
rare.
baby and seen him
Yeah.
and was like, yeah, he's a Vincent.
No, that was his birth name.
yeah. They
It's
don't
Vincent.
usually keep their birth names. They usually
No,
keep
yeah,
them
Maybe they
concealed,
guessed.
Like they don't.
It was
Especially
just-
as a baby.
Yeah,
The guess.
they don't usually let them know that stuff because usually when that happens, they don't want them to be able to find their birth parents.
Yeah,
That's the whole point. I thought that was kind of weird.
There were
So-
a lot of things that was kind of.
yeah. There's a lot of odd things about this movie. A lot of weird little. I don't know. There's a lot of weird plot holes and things like that in the story that are just kind of like, what?
And then going back to the music, that version of Yakety Yak made me want to throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, him singing it. You mean?
No, the
Yakety yak, don't come back.
No.
Ah,
I don't care about that. It was the whole fucking hip hop version that they had when
Yeah.
he was coming out of
oh yeah,
the
yeah.
Yakety Yak, wiki wiki wiki, Yakety Yak, wiki wiki wiki, Yakety Yak, wiki. Just fucking play the song. Like, God, drove me nuts.
Yakety yak, don't come back,
It
Karen.
was so stupid. Like, who needs a hip hop version of that song?
Especially in that time period.
No shit. Oh my god, I hated it so much.
It was stupid.
So I will agree with you. That was one piece of the movie. That was the only one I noticed though, just because it pissed me off. I'm like, are you gonna fucking just go
The
with
song
it?
blows.
Oh my god, move on.
Karen's eye started twitching.
Yeah, it did. It was like,
It was so funny seeing Heather Graham
yeah,
and at the beginning, like, God damn, she was so young. But then
Beautiful.
you're like, you see her now, you're like,
she hasn't aged.
you
Really.
haven't aged that much. Like,
Yeah.
how old? You'd have to be like,
She's aged like 5 years.
like, what are you, 70 now?
Yeah,
Like,
something like that.
like
yeah.
she's not that. She's not though. She's probably like 50,
Yeah, maybe
50, 55 at most. Like, she's
sounds
not
like
that
a fountain of
old.
youth.
No shit, she's so pretty. And the older lady that they got to play her, though, she actually looks like she
Oh
could
yeah,
be an older
yeah,
Heather.
I
Graham.
agree.
They did a really good job casting that.
yeah. They did do a good job with casting.
casting.
I
Casting.
mean, they could have just had Heather Graham play both parts because she really hasn't changed much.
Yeah, but that would be weird.
Film that and then like wait
Put a
40
little- put,
years
like,
to
a
film the
couple
other
wrinkles
part.
in it,
I
That'd be it.
guess.
Bam.
Film a movie that took this movie took 40 years to make. But anyway, you don't have anything to say about you're the one who's like, I'd watch this movie again. I like this movie.
I like this movie. I don't know. It
Right
was
on.
just like plain, like you guys said, lighthearted. I like those kinds of movies. I like the lighthearted comedies that you don't have to think about.
We
But
think
if you
about
do,
it.
it's weird.
I think about it. I think about how crappy it is.
I don't, because after I watch a movie, I tend to forget about it.
Not think too
I don't-
hard into it.
I don't
Yeah.
mind those movies either, but like,
She shut her brain
it has
off.
to make me laugh, and I didn't laugh.
I really didn't laugh a lot during like Arnold was it was cool to see Arnold in a role like this, but it's hard to see Arnold in a role like this. Knowing that like he did like True Lies and fucking he was Commando, he was in Predator. He did all
This-
these awesome action movies, but then he's in this like as this like really smart, like intellectually like intelligent dude and you're like this just doesn't fit
To
Arnold
me,
to
the
me.
only redeeming factor for this comedic role for him is that it led to his other comedic roles.
Right, yeah.
Because this was his first. Like, it showed that he had a comedic bone.
Right,
Well, at
yeah.
least you know he can do both. He doesn't just have to be serious.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, it led into him being able to do comedy and stuff. And I will say it was a good role for him.
Actually, one of his first roles was a comedic role. It was on I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
He came in. He was he was a masseuse. He was a massage
Mhm.
massage therapist. And he comes in. He's like, where you want do it? And she's like, over there. And she's like pointing. So he sets up his table and he's like this really big buff
Yeah.
dude. This is back during his like Mr. Universe stuff, and he was like fucking giant.
Yeah.
So, but it's a really funny scene. I love Lucy though.
I also didn't understand that his first reaction is to ditch Julius after finding out that he has money. When he needs money.
Yeah.
What was in that?
Yeah. What was in the
briefcase?
briefcase anyway?
I don't know. I think it's the same thing that was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Has to be. Has
That
to
was
be.
That's
in
why
the
nobody ever
briefcase in
knows.
Pulp
Well, it
Fiction.
was. I mean,
He had money. He had
Danny
some,
DeVito
you know?
was involved with both.
That's what I'm saying.
He's like, we got to put a briefcase in this. Which one? The one from Twins. We got to put that in this movie if you want me to produce it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Like, I want to know what's in it. I thought it was just filled full of money.
What's in the
That's
box?
what I assumed. I thought.
Yeah.
Or maybe, clothes. I don't know. But he never opens it.
He never opens
And
it, but he
and
never.
steals-
but he
and
takes it
steal-
everywhere with him.
And he steals Vincent's clothes. Remember, he like
Yeah.
rips it up. So like,
So I'm like, what's in the fucking suitcase?
Just had Brad Pitt come in. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
and I don't remember Playboy being ever just like in a supermarket.
No, that's what I was like. So it's just on the shelf there.
It was never that
For
way.
any
if
kid
it
to
was
pick
ever
up.
just on a shelf, it was in like a black bag.
Yeah, and
said,
it was in like it was in it was definitely in plastic. It was
Yeah.
always in plastic.
Yeah, and all the parts were covered up
Yeah.
with something black. If it wasn't in just a black bag that said Playboy on it or something.
Yep.
It was never just so you could
There
pick
you
it
can
up
pick it up and
play-
open it.
And you would open it up. Now that was not a thing.
What reminds me, what was this movie rated?
PG.
And there's tits in this movie.
Mhm.
You can see them blatantly right there in the magazine.
What's the problem?
But this movie is PG.
Karen.
I don't understand the problem.
That's
I
fucking
don't
funny
see it.
though.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
Going
There's
on?
like boobs right there. That's like I said, man. They let a lot go back then, man.
Yeah.
A movie like this, R. Nowadays.
Oh,
Well, it'd be PG-13,
PG-13, yeah.
but they'd have to cut out the tits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they might not cut it out, but it would.
PG-13 still has
PG-13
tits.
has some nudity. Yeah.
And I guess they would say just
It
brief
has
nudity.
Brief
Mhm.
nudity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they don't drop any F-bombs, it'd be a PG-13
Yeah, it would
movie.
be. It's a PG-13.
You
movie.
have two
They do.
nipples and no cussing. It's
no
PG.
F-bombs.
One F-bomb.
One
Oh
F.
yeah, one F-bomb.
You're allowed one F-bomb.
Light
You
cussing.
See tits? Fuck. Okay, that's it. You're good.
Yeah.
There's your PG-13
Yeah.
rating.
And I also liked how he got out of the shower and she was like, okay, I'll turn around.
And she's like looking at him through the mirror.
Well, or like, why don't you just? There's a door. Just go out and shut it.
She,
And there's a whole
she
other
wanted to
house.
see.
You know what I mean? Like it's just rude though.
She wanted to see.
Like if I was him,
It's
I'd be like,
creepy.
excuse you. Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah.
If I was him, I'd
If
be
it
like,
was a guy, that would be fucking creepy.
no.
Mhm.
It's played for laughs because she's a girl.
Yeah,
but like,
right,
if it was
right.
a guy,
I know if that was me and I looked like him and she was like there, I'd be like, you want to see?
I get it, but like at the same time, it's kind of like there's a whole other
Yeah,
house.
if like
you know
the
what I mean?
gender roles were swapped, it would have been creepy, and he would have been labeled as a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
True.
There's a whole house there. She could have just walked out and shut the door.
Mm-hmm.
But no, instead she's like, I'll turn around.
Yeah, she's adjusting that mirror. She's like,
Uh-huh.
mm-hmm.
I find it hard to believe that a man that looks like that is a fucking virgin. Virgin, my
He was
ass.
on an island with just his scientists.
I'm sure there were
Dad.
chickens on that island.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. And with all that technology, how do they not know that they were twins until they were born? That there were twins.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe he was hiding.
Yeah, Vincent was probably hiding behind.
Vincent was a pretty big baby, but still, I just,
No, Julius was
Julius,
a big baby.
Or Julius.
Vincent,
Yeah, I keep saying
Vincent
that.
probably
Probably
kept
hiding
on hiding
behind
behind
Julius.
Julius.
I don't know. They were so technologically advanced that they could make these perfect beings, apparently.
But they
No,
didn't know
they're
until
not
they were
perfect.
born.
Until he didn't.
And she didn't even know that they were twins until they were born.
I don't know.
Actually,
Maybe
she didn't even know.
She could have been knocked out.
She didn't even know that she had twins. No, through the whole pregnancy.
You wouldn't. I mean, just because you're pregnant doesn't
There's-
mean
yeah,
you
there's
you
been
can't tell
cases.
that there's
You're
two.
telling me that they didn't give her any X-rays, they didn't do any
Well,
tests on her.
yeah, in that case, yeah, but they probably kept her in the
Out,
dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they probably.
Yeah, but they
had,
even
like,
made it seem like they didn't know until they were born that they were twins.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the doctors, not
Oh,
her.
yeah.
The doctors. How did they not know?
Yeah, like there's two of them.
You know that they were tracking probably everything.
Oh,
about
every
this
step of the
pregnancy.
way, and you know
So-
she had to have known about it.
Well,
Oh,
even if she didn't know, even if they put like curtains up every time they did an ultrasound.
Say
or
we got to do
something.
this ultrasound. Turn your head. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I mean, they
She'd
could have
be
put
back,
curtains up or
adjusting the
something.
mirror,
But
like,
my point
"Oh."
is
that wouldn't make any sense though. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like who cares about whether or not she
But
sees
I
the
mean,
ultrasound?
it is a good point either way. If they were they had to be tracking this pregnancy. She had to know. Well, if they didn't know that they were twins, it doesn't make sense. And if she didn't know that they were twins because they didn't know that they were
Yeah,
twins,
an
that's just
expensive
ridiculous.
high end experiment like this, they're gonna monitor everything she eats, everything she does. She's gonna live under their thumb
Mhm.
for 9 months until
Mhm.
them babies are born.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
And
Like
if they didn't know that they were twins, well, no wonder your experiment failed.
no shit.
Imagine her cruddy diet though. Like her diet had to have been gross.
Well, there have
Probably.
been cases.
Like they probably
there
cut
have
out
been
all them
cases
cravings
where
and everything.
Yeah.
people have twins and didn't realize that there was
Yeah.
two.
Oh, I know. I'm saying to a larger point, they had that technology and stuff like that technology. They were so advanced that they could make a baby with 6 fathers,
Yeah.
and they didn't know that they were twins.
Meh.
Yeah.
It's a common mistake.
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
I will say that the excessive chain was probably the funniest part in this movie, in my opinion. Because that did make me. I mean, I wasn't. laughing.
I disagree. I think that the funniest part is Danny DeVito's face whenever their mom shows up at their office.
I didn't even know.
He's got that like baby face like Mama?
Oh, I didn't.
I was like, Danny DeVito's face. So priceless.
I didn't even notice
I
it.
like the part whenever the guy or the guy rolls by on his bike trying to take the suitcase from Arnold. And he
Oh
just,
yeah, and he like lands on his back.
flies backwards and gets. A
I'm sorry, did I
concussion and
hurt you?
everything.
Yeah,
Like,
I did
no.
like. I kind of liked his reaction too. He's like, it wasn't me. It was the pavement that was his enemy.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It was the pavement.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I really did like the changes because it kept coming and kept coming. I'm like,
You know, like the part where the two guys park the Cadillac in the garage and they get out and they start wiping everything down. The first thought I thought was like, okay, these guys were called by the.
It's a setup,
It's a
yeah,
setup. And they're
for
gonna,
him.
as soon as
That's what I thought too.
Danny gets in, it's gonna blow up or something. You know, that was my first thought.
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought so too, and then it wasn't. So
They could have made an action movie.
They could have.
Yeah, it could have been, Vincent gets killed and then Julius is out for blood.
Yeah,
We just made a better movie.
Oh.
yeah, I agree.
We could have kept it comedic.
That could have been a
there still
sequel.
could have been comedic parts.
That could have been a
but
sequel,
There actually
like
was
twins,
supposed to be.
twins Commando.
There was supposed to be a sequel.
could have been.
All right, you guys about done with your notes?
done.
Done,
I'm
done,
done.
done. Cool. Let's move on. Let's rate this mother effer.
Let's run out this bitch.
Mother effer.
Mother effer.
That's rough.
I'm trying to cut back on my cussing.
How's it working out for you?
Not so fucking well.
You don't say.
You are
fucking
so
say.
not trying to cut back. Don't even.
I know. It's a lie.
Ada said that same thing. She didn't last 2 minutes.
Ada does cuss a lot.
She does. It's bad. She cusses to herself. That's how bad that is. And she'll just be sitting there. She'll be cussing to herself. She's really bad about it. She comes here and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she don't stop though.
Well, I mean,
Could be giggling.
She does that with Granny too. She says something funny to Granny. She's
Alrighty.
like,
Let's go around the table, get
Sorry.
everybody's reviews. Start with Eric, man. What'd you think of Twins? Give me your rating, man. Make it good.
Well, fuck it, I'll leave that. No, I actually I do enjoy the movie in a way. I mean, it's nostalgic for me. I used to watch it when I was a kid. There's a lot of plot points. There are. I mean, like I said, when we come to why weren't they mad at Warner, but they're mad at the other one? Why,
well, the other one was kind of a dick, though, like
Well, yeah.
full on dick.
Yeah.
At least Warner was decent at the face. I
To a
mean,
point.
I don't think he got enough screen time to really judge, but
he was
the fact that he knew that his brother was alive for 35 years
Yeah.
and didn't tell him.
That was bullshit.
yeah,
Uh,
he was kind to raise a child. I suppose.
Right,
what I'm
but
just
that's about
saying.
it.
Yeah,
But it was definitely to his benefit, though, too.
sure.
had very light comedy. It was supposed to be a comedic movie, but I really didn't laugh a whole lot. I mean, yeah, seeing Arnold on the boat where it's like, you can obviously tell it's.
Oh, yeah, I take that back. That is the best part.
Yeah.
That is
Whenever
pretty
he's
funny.
rowing and it's like a fucking motor attached to
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah.
And he had to go, 26 miles for the next island?
Yeah.
So, there were slight comedy that,
That was probably the slapstickiest part of the whole movie.
yeah, that and the chains.
Yeah.
I like the change.
I don't know. I wish they would have just stuck with one thing instead of trying to mix like drama, comedy, action, all of this all in one
Yeah.
movie. I think they should have just like stuck with one version of it. I'm probably going to come in as like a 6.
Okay. Karen, what do you give Twins, man?
Eric actually brought up something that I had written down that I was going to mention, is that this movie actually felt like more than one movie. You know,
Mhm.
it felt like it was trying to be dramatic, and it felt like it was trying to be sappy, and it felt like it was trying to be comedy, and didn't really feel like it knew what it wanted. And it specifically felt like two separate movies to me. Like, they're searching for their mother, which was like, this kind of sappy, dramatic, but yet
buddy,
funny,
buddy,
buddy,
comedy.
buddy, lighthearted.
one movie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one movie itself. And then there's this whole like Webster thing going on where it's like this kind of actiony,
Comedy.
creepy comedy, but scary.
You know, I don't want to throw you off subject, but it actually reminds me of a movie that I watched with actually Billy Crystal and Robin Williams years ago. And it's about two guys who aren't sure of which one is the father of this boy.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but essentially, so they go on this cross-country trip to get this kid back.
But I don't remember what it's called.
And it was a comedy, but it also was very much well, I wouldn't say dramatic, but it was more sappy than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still a comedy because, of course, it had Billy Crystal and Robin Williams.
Yeah.
They were funny. But like, there's this whole scene where they're at this concert and there's headbutting the fuck out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It's like there was funny parts of the movie. They did that better. That's what they were trying to accomplish with this movie, but they didn't do it as well.
No, it's because I don't feel like they meshed those two plot lines well enough because it felt like two different movies. It felt like those plot lines were completely separate.
And that's what they did in that movie with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal. It was one set goal, not two separate goals.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. They didn't mesh those two plot lines well enough for it to feel like a cohesive movie.
Right.
It felt like two movies were happening at once in the same movie.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I would even think like, when I was watching like Vincent and Julius, and I would be thinking like, well, who are they playing now? Oh wait, nope, same movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like just the whole thing, I couldn't make heads or tails of it sometimes. I didn't laugh like I felt like I should have. I've never seen this movie in its entirety. I think I've seen bits and pieces before, but I've never seen it in its entirety before now. It just didn't do it for me. I didn't care for it as a general rule, but I don't think it deserves to be, bashed completely. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to give it a midpoint and say 5.
Okay. Madison, what do you think about Twins?
I like this movie. It did have funny parts. You're
Speak
right.
up, I can't hear you.
That's because I'm talking to the microphone. I'm not talking to you. No, I'm just kidding. I love you.
Boom, drop the
See what I mean? You want to choke your kids sometimes? You guys wonder why I'm a fucking asshole.
Are you?
This is why.
Are you happy you're gonna fuck her up?
Right.
No, I love you. Don't beat me, please.
I won't beat her on camera.
Oh man.
Quick intermission, people.
SOS, you guys.
Hold on, we'll be right back.
Anyway,
She goes back and she's like,
Madison's just sitting there
hey
twitching.
guys.
Madison's just sitting there twitching.
Twitching, like
Spazzing on over here, like.
blood's running out of her ear. Like,
Yeah, guys, I'm good. Choking on my own lung, but I'm good. No.
Coughs up a rib.
keep it up,
I've had
and you're gonna be
ribs,
choking
that
on my
shit
foot because I'm
hurts.
gonna have this rammed right up your ass. See, that's a good dad one. That's good. That's good dad humor right there.
I don't
You
get
do
it.
the F is for family.
I'm gonna stick my
I'll put you-
foot so far up your ass you're gonna choke on it.
Go and taste
Still
my
don't get
knee.
it.
Yeah.
Keep you up, I'll put you through the fucking wall.
See, I get that one. I get
No, the window
carrots.
usually. I tell you the window. I'm gonna throw you out that fucking window.
Please don't. It's cold outside.
No, keep fucking around.
I'd rather you throw me through the wall so maybe it'll knock me out. I won't have to feel the cold. No, I did like this movie, you guys.
Oh, hit me, go
It was
knock
just
me out.
it was like one of those like no-brainer movies. You didn't really have to think about it.
But we did.
That's the problem. It made me think too hard.
I know. You guys are weird.
I should never have to think this hard during an Arnold movie.
I don't think
Yeah.
I had to think that hard with the last action hero movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
That one is a thinker though.
Which maybe it was because I was removing the nail polish off my hands, and it was like one of those things where you can do
You were
some-
high?
removing the nail polish off my hands.
Yeah, you were high.
Yeah, sure.
Right, she was like
Anyways,
sniffing.
That's
Because,
where I
like-
went wrong.
I wasn't high.
Well, you know how there are those like movies and those shows that you can watch while you're doing something. Like I can do
Usually not
art
one I
and
haven't seen
stuff
before,
while I'm
though.
watching things that I've already seen. This is like one of those movies I can keep up on the plot just while I'm doing something, like keeping my hands busy. It's just one of those movies. I like those movies because I like doing things. I like making things.
I found myself easily distracted watching this movie. Like,
Oh
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
usually
yeah,
not.
yeah. Try not to be.
Try to stay focused on a movie. You can't.
See, it's a busy hand.
I mean, I
movie.
stayed pretty focused on the. I can't say I stayed pretty focused on the movie, but I think it's because. Well, go ahead, finish your review.
I'll come in with a 6.5. I
Okay.
guess.
And I think for me, like I said, I didn't have trouble staying focused, but that's because I didn't have anything else going on. I was sitting down to watch this movie, and but it's definitely it wasn't so boring or anything that like okay, I'm over this. It's too slow. I don't think we've really. I don't know how many movies we've actually reviewed on this podcast like that, but Shawshank, it might be decent. But that one, even in the story, has you in. You know what I mean? So, but like, this is also a movie that I think I've only seen it once, and I'm not even sure that I remember it. Like, I remember seeing parts of the movie, so maybe I was like you.
Mhm.
I don't. Maybe I just
know
saw
I haven't
bits and
seen it in
pieces
its
of it.
entirety.
Yeah.
But like, because a lot of this shit I don't remember in the movie. I'm like, oh, I don't remember this.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
so
the car scene, like.
but I
said.
don't think I've seen it since I was like a little kid. So,
Yeah.
like, even then though, maybe it didn't hold my attention then. So, I don't know though. I'm not gonna say this is my first time watching it, but I'm not gonna say that it's my third or fourth time watching it either.
Right.
So, but anyway, I think that like I said, the movie itself, it's bare bones, it's boring, it's not funny. It's okay to see Arnold in a role like this. I love Danny DeVito regardless of what he's doing. He's just an entertaining guy all around. The music is terrible in this. The whole score is terrible. Yeah, not even the music itself, but like the score, like it's terrible.
It's forgettable for me.
It's
the only thing
I wouldn't even call it. It's not that it's forgettable. I just don't like it. It sounds terrible. It sounds like a cheap.
For me, it was forgettable.
Yeah, it just sounds like a cheap B-rated
which
movie
is a
from the
bad
90s.
thing for me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. So, I think that I think it's just poorly executed, cheaply made, and it's one of those movies that I'm like, I feel like it was like one of the movies that was like they didn't know what they wanted out of it, so they kind of just slammed some ideas together and said, "Let's make that a movie." And I don't care for it. I'm gonna give this movie a 4.5. I don't like it at all, really. It's not unwatchable. I won't say that, but it's not good either. So I don't care for it.
So the aggregate then is 5.5.
Okay. That's not terrible, I guess. Still a 55%. For us, anyway.
I'm guessing 52. Before you guys accuse me of cheating.
I think that because of
Arnold and Danny, I'm going to go.
yeah, and
like
it is
80s.
one of those movies that is
say
like
82.
people like. I'm gonna say for critics, it's I'll go 85.
Well, fuck you.
Madison's taking this is 42%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
10 percentages
low.
off, you guys.
I really thought that like they really loved this
with
movie.
Arnold and
It says,
Danny.
though it offers a few modest pleasures for undemanding viewers, Twins leans too heavily on the wackiness of the premise to overcome its narrative shortcomings.
That's a really good.
That's a good point. Yeah, because it does have some...
It leans way too hard on that.
yeah.
To,
So,
yeah.
An honest
all right, what do you guys think about audience?
65.
Sick. You messed me up. 52. Sticking with 52.
Damn you all. 73.
Madison's going to take this, too. It's a 39%.
Dang.
Wow.
People don't like this movie, so they feel as strongly about it as we do. Or I do, I should say. Especially the critics.
I don't know if that's very fair. It's kind of fallen into the same boat as a lot of the other movies, in my opinion, as the time period. You know,
Yeah.
not
true.
a lot of people are going to make their way to Rotten Tomatoes to.
Yeah, and well, this is based off 100,000 ratings.
Well, what I'm saying though is
So-
like the time period in which this movie was made and things like that. Like not a
Right.
lot of people are going to give it. People that are going to go on there and do it aren't the people that probably went to theaters and saw this and really loved the movie.
Yeah.
And, it's my opinion. I don't know if it's very fair, I guess is what I'm saying.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, I'm going to give you guys just a few of the critic or the audience reviews. Here's a half a star. What kind of what the fuck word is that? Wattpad?
Wattpad.
Fanfic? Wattpad? What kind of wat?
Are they making up
Wattpad-
words?
Wattpad? Maybe.
Wattpad is where 12-year-old kids go to make smuts about like fictional characters.
What?
So this was a kid review.
No. 12-year-olds shouldn't be on Wattpad because there's smut on Wattpad and they write it.
The fuck? Okay.
How do you know about what is this?
TikTok.
What is it called? Wattpad?
Wattpad, yeah.
New
Wattpad.
slang to us.
I guess, man. I don't know. Whatever. What kind of
We're too old for that
Wattpad
shit.
fanfic where Danny DeVito has a ponytail and finds out he's Arnold Schwarzenegger's totally not identical twin bullcrap is this? A cringy tale of very unexpected brotherly love. We're gonna make a sequel. Thankfully, it got canceled. Nobody even asked for a sequel in the first place. Nobody cares.
My brain hurts.
Yeah, wow, okay. Too ridiculous to be funny. Okay, there's far more ridiculous things out there that are funny.
Yeah. Ridiculous usually does translate into funny.
You're right,
Mhm.
exactly. Terrible, horrible, cringe, pretty, boring movie starring Arnold and Danny DeVito. It's your average cringe fest of an 80s movie that you'll forget about. For some reason, tons of people like this movie. That's not true, given the score. I don't get it. The poster is cool, but man, the movie is bad. I can see that it made tons of money because everybody is talking about it, but man, you say man a lot. I was hyped for this, and boy, I was wrong about this movie. Cringe, waste of time, man. I didn't say man at the end, but I did.
I thought I was gonna say that doesn't sound right.
Talking about ridiculous movies, we should put Half Baked in there.
Oh no, that movie's hilarious.
That movie
I
is
know, That's why
hilarious.
it's ridiculous funny.
My favorite
Half
part is
Baked.
the
Who's coming with me, man? Who's coming with me?
I like the. Oh, where'd that come from?
Don't get the hype. Didn't find it very good. This is the problem for a lot of classic films. There is no hype behind this movie. I don't know what you're talking about. No. Fun idea. Memorable scenes. Solid actors, but no. Okay. You didn't say shit. Just a lot of no's. No. What's the deal with Hollywood super hack Ivan Reitman? What's his major deal? Wow, what has...
Every director has a bad
Yeah,
movie.
he's not a
Yeah.
Or
fucking
two
hack.
or
I wouldn't say
5.
that. Ivan
He's
Reitman's-
usually known for doing really
Yeah.
good comedies. I mean, but every
That
director
one.
has a few or bad movies. I mean, it's not.
It
They're
says
not perfect,
Arnold.
man.
Well, this is a perfect example. Arnold and DeVito made a hit or miss movie. This was a miss. Yeah, sometimes that happens.
It happens.
A one joke film that gets old fast.
It doesn't mean I'm never gonna watch a Reitman film or a Danny DeVito flick or
Right, exactly.
An
Arnold movie.
1 star.
Or one that they
you
make
would
altogether again.
think that a movie about Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito being twins would be funny, but you would be mistaken.
make a sequel
Nothing
now.
about this movie is particularly humorous. I don't think I laughed
The old
once
versions
throughout
of-
the entire thing.
They should
It's
bring
unfortunate
Arnold on Sunny.
because its premise
Oh,
could
yeah.
have worked if it was done well.
As
It's
it
not
was.
the worst comedy I have seen, but it's still pretty bad. So I think that this movie suffers from something that I think that a lot of movies suffer from, and that's nostalgia. So a lot of movies that we find to be good because of nostalgic purposes are good because we remember them being good when we were kids. This is obviously a movie we didn't watch a lot of as kids.
I didn't watch it.
So look at what's another movie that has a poor rating but we love?
Super Mario Brothers.
There you go. See, that has
I watched-
nostalgia. But like if you were to watch that movie,
what's the
I
Howard
watched
the Duck?
I
Howard
watched
the Duck.
Twins movie
Dad,
with
what
Grandma.
about Look Who's Talking?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I don't care for that movie.
My opinion, the only thing I will
watched
say
all
about
the
that is like, okay, so Twins, I don't care. Any movie that has a nostalgia factor to it and you like it because of that nostalgia factor, I'm never going to judge you for it. I'm not, because there are a lot of movies that are like that for me.
Yeah.
If you like it, if you're going to give it an 8 or a 9 or even a 10 for that reason, I'm not going to judge you for it, because Lord knows I've got plenty of those in my back pocket that are terrible movies, but I fucking love them because I watched them when I was a kid, and they may be bad, but they're my bad, and I don't give a fuck.
It's like that one the Star Kid where they're on
Solar Babies.
Solar Babies. That's a nostalgia movie for me because I used to watch it. We used to have it on VHS from like taping it from the TV show or TV.
About a glowing ball.
Yeah, and all it was about a glowing ball. About these kids
That brought
chasing-
water.
Yeah, these kids chasing around a glowing ball
Mm-hmm. That's
on
it.
rollerblades.
Really. That's the long and the short of it.
Yeah,
It's about a desert wasteland, and this ball brings water back.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's got a premise. Not a bad one either.
No,
All
I
right.
mean it wasn't terrible.
All right, well, let's get into our trivia, Karen.
Okay.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
The money was not available to pay the two main stars and the director their normal fees. They decided to split a percentage of the gross profits between the three of them and ended up making more money than they would have made taking their fees up front because the film was such a hit. Schwarzenegger got 20% of the profits and made $35 million through international sales, DVD sales, video, and TV screenings. He earned more money from Twins than any of the Terminator movies. Does that piss you off?
That does piss me off a little
I
bit.
knew it was going to, and I'm sorry.
That does piss me. Not only does that piss me off, you know what else pisses me off about Arnold? Is he was already rich before he was an actor.
Yeah.
He was rich before he was an actor and before he won most of his Mr. Universe awards and
Well,
shit.
does he
He was
donate?
already because he was dealing in art and everything else.
Mhm.
He dealt in other things. He wasn't a stupid dude. He was actually really smart.
He's actually a very smart
Well,
man.
does he donate or anything, or does he just keep it?
I hope he don't donate, man, because I don't like hearing about actors and actresses who donate to all these fucking charities because all they are is tax write-offs for them.
If he does, like, if any of them do, keep your mouth shut about it.
Yeah.
Don't brag about it.
Yeah, don't brag about it.
Keanu doesn't. The only reason we know about it is because somebody else opened their mouth.
Yeah.
Universal needed to know if Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and Ivan Reitman were committed very early on because they were under a deadline. They made the deal on a napkin at lunch with agents. They signed it, and DeVito then had it framed. Arnold Schwarzenegger has always wanted to do a sequel called Triplets with Danny DeVito and adding Eddie Murphy as a long-lost third brother.
I've heard about that.
Oh, that's
See, that's
great.
something I could get behind because Danny
That
or
sounds
Eddie Murphy,
actually pretty
Especially
funny.
Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy back then.
Eddie Murphy would have been fucking hilarious, dude, in
Sure.
a situation like this.
Back then,
Oh, yeah.
with you think of
Beverly Hills Cop
yeah, I was
and all
gonna say
that.
Beverly Hills Cop,
Yeah.
like a la Beverly Hills
Yeah.
Cop. Good fucking lord. Oh, anyway, DeVito pitched script back.
He was
ideas.
he was
They could've
loud
made
as
a
fuck.
Quadruplets and made the dude that sold the guns to
Oh,
Eddie.
Bronson Pinchot.
No, dude. No, bring his SNL character. What's his name? He's supposed to be like the Mr. Rogers of the ghetto.
Oh,
I can't remember his fucking name, but that shit was hilarious, dude. Talking about stealing TVs and shit from people. They come knocking on the door. He's like, "Now who's that at the door?" And he goes up to the door. "Who is it? What you want?"
Who is it? Yeah, I remember that. I always liked it when he did buckwheat too.
Yeah.
When you get up there and sing. DeVito pitched script ideas back in 2003, but Schwarzenegger was too busy running for governor of California. DeVito agreed with his decision, but doubted he would become governor. In 2012, at the end of Governor Schwarzenegger's second term, plans for the sequel were officially confirmed, although as of 2019, Triplets is still in pre-production. And in April of 2019, DeVito publicly disclosed that the final script is still incomplete. Reitman confirmed during press of Ghostbusters Afterlife in 2021 that he would return as director, as would Schwarzenegger and DeVito in their original roles. But the role of the third brother would now go to Tracy Morgan, whom had just worked with Eddie Murphy on another long-in-development sequel, Coming to America.
I would rather have Eddie than
Eddie
Tracy.
Murphy, even Eddie Murphy now.
Tracy is funnier than fuck, but
Nah,
He's one of those that are funny, like, but only in certain doses and in certain
Like, you
things.
put
Like,
his-
he was
I think
really
he's
good on
only
30
funny
Rock.
depending on who he's surrounded by.
He was
Yes.
good in 30 Rock, but because
Because of who he
was-
could bounce off
yeah,
of.
exactly.
Eddie Murphy is just funny on his own.
yeah.
Kind of like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was funny because of like certain projects he was in.
Cop Out. That's what I'm thinking. Cop Out.
Cop Out. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't like that movie.
You didn't like it?
There were certain scenes that were really, really hilarious.
There was a few funny scenes,
Yeah.
but
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito,
Oh,
and
that
Hulk
movie.
Hogan have all revealed in interviews that Schwarzenegger and DeVito were given the option of doing this movie or Suburban Commando. Had the two chosen Suburban Commando, Hogan and Christopher Lloyd would have done this movie. Schwarzenegger went on to record to state that this film was the best decision he ever made.
Okay, I will say, like, whenever I say nostalgic movies, Suburban Commando's mine.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
You've never seen it? It's kind of a... It's as cheaply made as this movie, but it's still, like, for me, I watched it a lot as a kid.
nostalgia
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
I watched it a lot as a kid because
Which
it
we
had
didn't have for this
Hulk
one, so-
Hogan and The Undertaker in it, and then it had Christopher Lloyd, who I knew from, like, Back to the Future and all that stuff, and I'm like, that's a fun movie.
Yeah.
But
This next one, I actually pointed this out to Jeremiah, so I knew this, but I didn't know the last part of it. So when Julius goes to the mother's old house and meets up with Granger, one of the fathers, Granger's grandchildren are played by Jason Reitman and Catherine Reitman, the real-life children of director Ivan Reitman. The only reason I knew that was because Catherine played the little girl in Ghostbusters 2 that had the puppy, and I recognized her from that. And the boy played the kid in the second one. Jason Reitman played the boy in the second one that said, "My dad says you guys are full of shit." So I knew them from Ghostbusters. That's the only reason.
my dad said you guys are full of shit.
Yeah, but I did not know this. Catherine Reitman would later portray the recurring character of Maureen Ponderosa on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which also stars Danny DeVito. So that's Catherine Reitman.
Wait, which one's
I did not know that. Grown
Who's
up.
Irene Ponderosa?
Maureen. She's the cow. The Dennis's ex-wife.
Oh, the one with the tooth.
Mm-hmm.
That's Ivan Reitman's daughter?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
I
either.
knew her when she was a kid. I knew what she looked like, but I didn't know what she looked like all grown up, apparently.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger had been wanting to do a comedy for years after several action movies. Twins was his opportunity. After the surprise success of the film, he started getting comedy scripts sent to him. So like I said, I like the fact that this opened that door for him.
Mm-hmm.
Schwarzenegger did not pick up the car in reality.
I was hoping he did.
I know, kind of was too. And at first I was like, what the fuck? Like, what does that even, how does that even make sense? And then when he explained it, I was like, I guess that does kind of make sense. Okay. Danny DeVito made pasta, espresso, and sambuca for the actors while they were on set. Arnold gave cast and crew 2 t-shirts. One was the Born to Be Bad t-shirt, and the other was one was for the gym Arnold frequented. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito's characters.
Can you imagine how much that shirt's worth today?
Right.
That Born to Be Bad shirt?
Right.
You could sell that fucking shit on eBay for thousands.
Characters' names are Julius and Vincent, respectively. In 1994, Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta played Jules and Vincent, respectively, in Pulp Fiction, which was executive produced by Danny DeVito. Also, Kelly Preston was John Travolta's wife. Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger would later reunite in the 1994 comedy Junior. In the Central Asian nation of Azerbaijan, Twins was released in a dubbed and retitled version. The Azerbaijan title translates into English as, I had to put this in here because it's hilarious. It translates into English as Zombie 42, 2 times the death.
What?
So Twins translated into...
No, I know what you said.
Yeah.
That's...
So it translates into as a Bahini, and then when it translates back into English, it becomes Zombie 42, 2 times the death.
Why can't we just call it that?
Right? That's what I thought.
Might pull in some more viewers. Like, this is not what I was expecting.
Right? And finally, included among the American Film Institute's 2000 list of the 500 movies nominated for the top 100 funniest American movies. What that fucking means, I can't tell you. Included among the American Film Institute's 2000 list of the 500 movies nominated for the top 100 funniest American movies.
Yeah, that 2000 list, like year 2000.
Right, but 500 movies nominated for the top 100. Okay, so there was 500 movies that were nominated for the top 100. Okay, there we go. I had to read it a few times.
So it was nominated but didn't make it. Because let's face it, I can name 100 funnier movies than this movie.
Yeah.
Especially in the year 2000.
But it's
Yeah.
nice to be nominated.
Yeah, it's nice to feel good. I bet there was only 500 comedies at that time. that was like all of the major comedies up until that time.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, that was Twins. I'm kind of glad that one's over with because I didn't care much for that one. But I
was
guess
glad to watch something that I'd never seen before.
I was glad to watch something that, yeah, maybe I hadn't seen for a long time or whatever. But I was also just glad to watch something that I wasn't sure if I liked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because like this is one of the movies.
it's
Is like
nice
I
to
went
see
into it. I'm
something
like,
you're
I don't
not-
know if I like this movie. Like,
Well, it's nice to see something you don't know what to expect.
right, yeah. So it was just like, and I didn't like it. So that's not always bad. We don't have to like everything.
No, oh God, no.
So anyway, what are we watching next week?
Don't yell at me if it's a scary movie.
Fuck.
Better not be.
I can't help it though. Like 90% of what's in here is scary.
We need to put more comedy.
Shuffle them up, shuffle them up,
I
shuffle
I
them
want
up.
Robin Hood Men in Tights. Damn it.
Good luck with that one. Be funny if that's what you got.
You know, we need like one of those like Tumblr things.
Yeah,
that
like
have, the
like for
lottery.
bingo and shit.
Yeah, but the chest looks better.
Pitch Perfect.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, okay. Another comedy, I guess.
Jeremiah would be liking that because he's been begging me to watch that one.
Really?
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch
just
Perfect
recently
with
watched this one
Anna
again.
Kendrick and some other people.
He's
like,
in love.
huh?
She
Anna
is hot.
Kendrick.
She is hot.
She is awesome.
I agree. I
Not
love
only
her.
hot, but awesome.
She's hilarious.
Yeah.
You ever seen her like random thoughts or whatever?
Yeah. I've also like
Funny
she
as
did that
shit.
one commercial for Star Wars. Like,
oh yeah.
like how amazing is that? She's a nerd too. She's just sexy. Makes her sexy.
I agree. Pitch Perfect next week.
Yeah, and she can sing.
And she can sing.
Anyway, next week we're gonna do Pitch Perfect. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all this stuff down here. The TikToks.
It's streaming on Netflix, Roku. Yeah.
No excuses then. Everybody's got Netflix anymore. If not, then they have Roku.
Yeah, everybody's got Roku.
Anyway, check us out on TikTok. All that other stuff. Have you done anything with the Instagram yet?
Yeah, I uploaded a couple of the older TikToks that we had on.
There you go.
That we
Instagram
didn't
people.
have on Instagram yet.
I'll have to add that to the list down here. I know it's not on there, so and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to all this stuff, like the YouTubes and all that good shit. And don't forget to tell your friends about us. Don't forget to rate us. All that stuff. Right, Madison?
Yes.
Yes.
Do
it.
Tell your friends
Do
about
it.
us, or
Do
else
it
I'm
now.
gonna get
Do it
involved
for
with
the
writing
Do it
with
for
a
the
hatchet.
children, man. Do it for the children.
Fuck them kids.
Give them a smile, Madison. Give them a sad face. Yeah. For the children.
Sorry,
All right,
I don't do
so
sad
till
faces.
next week.
It's not my thing.
What is that?
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
God.
Fuck them kids. Hold on.
I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
That's right.
I play
Fuck
that
them
with the kid-
kids.
I play that song when the kids are in the car with us.
Dad,
Fuck
you
them
write
kids.
start writing your memoirs, and I will read them all at your funeral.
You don't need to.
No,
No, nobody wants to hear what I got to say.
I do. Especially if you're dead. I mean, come on.
Especially if you're dead. She don't want to hear about it now, but when you die, she'd like to hear what you have to say.
It means more when I'm dead.
It does, because then I can read it over and over again and feel like you're still here with me.
All right.
Oh man. I
Till
don't
next
remember
week,
him
people,
saying
you
that.
guys have yourselves a fine week. A fine week. And don't eat all that fucking Halloween candy. You'll get sick.
Yeah.
Or do.
Or
if
do.
you stay home sick, you get to listen to us. So.
Yeah, good point. All
I
right.
like the new Price is Right.
Whatever. All
Okay,
right.
bye.
Bye.